Prophet of Thought. The Prophet of Thought series. Prophet of Thought series. Prophet of Thought series.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you're here. Tonight, my people, tonight we have a very special guest coming on tonight. Those of you probably are more familiar with him as the Coon Flakes guy. If you was watching, I guess a month or so back, I had this brother on, and brothers was letting him have it. Hey, what's going on? I see y'all up there. What's good? Simply Deep, Q Wilson, WOTP. What's going on, y'all? Yeah, so tonight we're gonna have Brother Haywood on. We were supposed to have him on last week with Princella Clark, but we was experiencing some technical shit. I don't know what the hell was going on last week, y'all. Just for some reason, Brother Haywood couldn't seem to get on. I spoke with Brother Haywood on the phone the other day. I think we got it figured out. So tonight we're gonna have him up on here. What's up, Millset Roll, Chart to the Wheel? I see y'all up there. Yeah, so tonight we're gonna have Brother Haywood on, and we're gonna try to get him on. We're gonna see if we got these technical snafus straightened out. It's actually on his end, not mine. Believe it or not. So I don't know what's going on. I think he got a new phone or something, and he didn't download the app or something like that. I don't know. But tonight we're gonna try to get it right. Matter of fact, let me hit him up right now. I might even call him on the phone if I deem it necessary. So let me go ahead and hit him up now. Let me hit him up right now. Make sure he ain't forgot. He's supposed to have his ass up on here tonight. Oh, damn. I sent him the wrong goddamn. Damn it. Okay, it's Cory Haywood. Damn, I sent it to the wrong damn. I sent it to the wrong damn email, y'all. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you like that, huh? WOTP. You like that? I gotta resend him the link because I sent it to the wrong email. I sent it to his other email. I gotta send it to his damn Gmail. What the hell am I doing? God damn it. Let me see. Let me make sure I got the right one. Let me make sure I got the right one. Okay. Yeah, I sent it to that Y-mail shit. I think that's what it is. He was trying to come through at that Y-mail shit, and I don't think it was working. So I got to send it to his Gmail. Damn, I thought I sent it. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's do that. And send him the link. He's probably like, what the hell is X doing? This is. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. The other two. Send it to the right email because he got quite a few emails. Send it to the right one. That was a problem. All right. Now then, that we have done that, what I'll do is I'll hit him up here, make sure we got it. Sure, we got it. Bam. Get rid of this. All right. Now, while we sit here and wait for Brother Haywood to come through, guess I can tell y'all what we got going on the old T.P.O.T network. Tomorrow is going to be a really, really good show because y'all know Thursday nights is a night that we're always waiting for. The Unicorn 4, the ladies of thought will be here live and direct. And tomorrow's topic is Mama always right? So, tomorrow we going in because y'all know what I think about that mama's always right shit. So we going in tomorrow. And I'm warning y'all right now, tomorrow is probably not going to be suitable for young viewers. Because if you heard me on Brother Valdez's show, the Angry Man show earlier tonight, you're going to get more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to get more of that. So you probably want to put the kids to bed, okay? You don't want them listening to X tomorrow up here with the Unicorn 4, Lady Ming, Lady Katz, Lady Kendra, and Lady Classic coming through the Ladies of Thought tomorrow. Also, I need y'all to hit the Proper Thought Series Facebook page, the main page. Stop through there. I mean, we creeping up on 1,000 followers, which I didn't see that coming, but we creeping up on it. Let's go ahead and make that happen. And also stop by the T.P.O.T bandwagon page. Send a friend request. We'll make sure it gets clicked quick. And also go to the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page. That's the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. We creeping up on 3,000, y'all. I mean, I can't believe it's that many people hooked up on that thing. It's like unprecedented. But we're creeping up on 3,000. Let's go ahead and try to make it happen. So make sure you stop by the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Request to be a member. I'll make sure they accept you quick. Trust me, I got them in the palm of my hand. So also check us out on Instagram and on WhatsApp. That's Prophet of Thought on Instagram and on WhatsApp. And follow us on Twitter at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Follow us on there, or I keep telling you, I'm going to haunt your ass in your sleep. What's good, Lady Cats? I see you up there. What's going on? And also, if you're feeling generous tonight, go ahead and drop a few coins in this here bucket that I'm about to put up. See it? Do y'all see it? It should be right about there. Yeah, about right there now. Brother Cerulean, what's good, brother? Yeah, it should be right about there. That there PayPal Streamlabs link. So if you're feeling generous, make sure you drop a couple coins in the bucket. And if you're feeling generous with some likes, drop a few likes about right here somewhere. About right there. Okay? We do this every week, so I guess we're going to have to do it again tonight. Take that hand. Don't worry, y'all my people. I don't mind doing this with you. Take that hand and move it slowly, 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 slowly over that mouse. And once you get it right there, you go click and you're done. So let's get some likes right here. See? Right here. Let's get some of those likes in there. Because y'all know I don't like when the watch numbers exceed the like numbers. If you're not gonna hit the damn like on the way in, at least hit it on the way out, for Christ's sakes. Look out for the brother. Yeah. So anyway, tonight we're gonna have Brother Cory Haywood on, and y'all know that when Brother Haywood comes on, it's always heated, it's always crazy, it's always wild, because Brother Haywood says a lot of shit that people disagree with. He says shit that I disagree with, and I've been knowing Brother Haywood for a few years. He's been coming on my show for quite some time. You know, he's been coming on my show ever since I was a talk show host for Nubia Hood Radio. So I've known Brother Haywood for years. A lot of the shit he says I agree with, a lot of shit he says I disagree with, but he's still my man. And I know a lot of my listeners take issue with Brother Haywood. And guess what? What I'm going to do once he get up on here, everybody will have their chance. If you want to jump in and talk to the brother and bring some heat to him, I don't have no problem with that. When I talked to him on the phone the other day, we discussed that that's how it's going to go down. And you know, Brother Haywood, he welcomes that kind of shit. So he welcomes that kind of shit. So he don't have a problem with it. Neither do I. So, you know, if you want to take a crack at old Brother Haywood, feel free. He's ready for it. So am I. I'm pretty sure you are too. So let me see what the hell is going on with him, why he ain't brought his ass up on here yet. See what the hell is happening here. Might be going through the same shit we was going through the other night, last week. For some reason, it just don't be working. Let me see. Let me look up here, y'all. See if I can hit him up on the old video chat. Oh, you know what? There we go. Do that. Maybe that'll bring him. If I do it like that, y'all, it might work. Brother Haywood, what's good, man? I think, yeah. I think this is what I gotta do. I think this is what I gotta do. All right. Okay. Audience, can y'all see Brother Haywood's icon? Tap 1 if you could see Brother Haywood's icon. Can y'all see Brother Haywood's icon? Tap 1 if you can see his icon coming up. No. No. Brother Haywood, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this call and I'm gonna invite you through the stream. Okay? I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna cut this short and I'm gonna invite you through the stream. See if you can get on, all right? Give me 2 minutes. All right. All right, I can get him in, but let me see. I gotta do some shit here. Damn it. Darn it. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's talk amongst yourselves. Let me see. Let me see if that works. Let's see if that works. Brother Haywood.
Yes, indeed, I'm here.
Gotcha. Finally, gotcha. The guest of honor has arrived, y'all.
Finally.
Gotcha, man. The guest of honor has arrived, y'all. My man, Brother Cory Haywood.
I gotta get somewhere quiet, man.
Okay. It's all good.
Give me like 2 minutes to get somewhere quiet.
Okay. Well, I was just telling everybody that that you ready.
I'm in traffic right now. Hold on. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect, man. So what's going on?
What's good, my brother? What's good? I was just telling my audience, I said I spoke to Brother Haywood on the phone the other day, and I told him that, you know, he's one of the brothers that come on my show that everybody loves to hate. So I said, Brother Haywood ready for it, though. He'll care about that shit. he'll care about that shit.
Absolutely. I'm taking all comers.
Yeah, he'll care about that shit. I told him I'm gonna shoot the shit with you for a little while, and anybody want to come up on and take a crack at you, they welcome to. They welcome. They are welcome. So what you been up to, man, since the last time we spoke, brother?
Well, let me tell you, man, that I've been paying close attention to Kanye West.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
me and the rest of the country, apparently, especially our African American brothers and sisters, we have all been paying attention to Kanye West, and well, let's just say that he's causing quite the stir.
All right, let me ask you.
Quite the stir in the community.
Let's start right here. What do you think of what Kanye West said, Brother Haywood? What do you think of it?
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go with his most recent tweet about slavery being a choice. Now, when I first, well, actually, not his tweet, I'm sorry. During the interview with TMZ, he said slavery was a choice. When I first heard the audio, I was, to say the least, very, very confused. And I thought to myself, this nigga must have lost his mind. Like everyone else, I'm sure, thought the same thing. But then, you know what? I gave it some more thought. And let me tell you, I think Kanye West meant well. The problem with him is he can't articulate his points well. That's the issue. And so I think what he needs is someone to help him properly phrase his feelings so that he's not perceived in the wrong way. So this is my interpretation of what he said. In terms of a choice, think about it. 400 years, Black people were essentially programmed or conditioned not only to accept their existence as slaves, but to an extent embrace their position as slaves. Harriet Tubman, I'm loosely quoting what she said, but I think she said something to the effect that she could have freed a lot more slaves had they known they were slaves. And so to go back to Kanye West's point, I think what he meant is that slaves throughout that 400-year period, many of them were actually comfortable being in the position they were in because they were programmed to be. And so they made the choice consciously to live in that existence rather than trying to find ways to get out of it. That's what he meant. Remember, we saw Django. When Calvin Candy was killed at the end of that movie, Samuel L. Jackson fell to his knees and cried. Did he not? That, to me, is an example of how many slaves viewed their masters, not as men and women of hatred and corruption, but they viewed them as family, as their protectors, their defenders, their providers. And so there were many slaves who didn't realize they were actually slaves. And because of that, they chose to stay where they were instead of fight back. And that's what Kanye West meant, in my opinion.
Well, I can kind of go along with that. But the thing is this, when you come out and say slavery is a choice, because I've heard that before. He's not the first person to say it, and he won't be the last. When you say things like that, you're going to stir the Black society pot when you say things like that. Because you're gonna hear people jump up and say, "Hey, man, what the hell are you talking about? We were forced to be slaves. We were forced," and I agree. I think slavery was forced upon Black people, and I think a lot of Black people who came in from Africa. I mean, it wasn't a lot they could do because there was nowhere to run per se. Because a lot of them, they didn't know where the hell they were. They weren't familiar with the language and all that kind of stuff. So where the hell were they going to run? So that's the automatic reaction when someone says, slavery was a choice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, that's...
Now, I don't want to get it twisted here. Slavery was absolutely not a choice. It was more of an ultimatum, right? Slavery or death. So most people, right, would choose option A as opposed to option B. But what I think people are doing is they are misunderstanding where Kanye was coming from. I think people think that Kanye was marginalizing the experiences of slaves, the suffering that slaves endured and experienced. And I don't think he was doing that. But remember, man, Kanye West has never been a very articulate dude. Even when he publicly denounced George Bush during that telethon in the midst of aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. If you listen to that audio, man, he spoke with the diction and the linguistic ability really of a child. It was gibberish, man. He stumbled through that entire monologue. So we can't hold Kanye West to his statements in the sense of how he delivers what he says. We have to try to dig deeper to understand where exactly he's coming from and the message that he's trying to convey, rather than harp and focus on the words themselves. And that's where I think the disconnect has come. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, though, Brother Haywood. A lot of times, man, when people be talking, we don't hear what they mean. We hear what they say. So
right.
It's kind of hard to be like, oh, well, I think he meant, X, Y, and Z, even though he said A, B, C. I mean, a lot of people just aren't going to go there. They're going to hear what you say and be like, what the hell is this Negro talking about? I mean, that's kind of what it is, and ultimately, I think that this is going to come back to haunt him to a degree. I think it's going to come back to haunt him, especially with black folks. I mean, white folks love it, but it's going to come back to haunt him with some black folks. I do believe that.
Well, I agree with you, but to be honest with you, I think that might be to his benefit. Celebrities in general, not just black, but celebrities in general, right? They really are adverse. They're resistant to express how they truly feel, in fear that they may actually lose fans, lose support, right? Lose their popularity, and to some extent lose their career. So in my opinion, Kanye West is freeing himself from that, right? I'm sorry, hold on. No, hello, hold on.
No, I already got locked the door.
Okay, cool, because I'm on an interview call. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yep. Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can see you. Okay. So what I'm saying is that celebrities don't have the option of expressing how they truly feel because they fear losing support from their fans. They fear fracturing their persona. They fear losing their careers. Kanye West has gained something that's invaluable, and that is his freedom to express himself without giving a fuck about what anyone thinks. That to me is more important, far more valuable than any of his fans, his career, his music. He has that back. Think about it, Kevin Hart, man. This cat can't say or do anything that rubs his fans the wrong way, because without his fans, there is no Kevin Hart. Kanye West, to me, transcends race. He's reached a point now where he doesn't give a fuck about what you think. He's going to say what he feels. And most celebrities cannot do that. They don't have that freedom, man.
Well, I guess it goes back to the old phrase, all publicity is good publicity. Whatever the publicity is, whether it's negative publicity, positive publicity, or publicity that's down the middle, I guess it's all good publicity. Publicity is publicity, right? Is that where you think he's going? Do you think that that's what he's doing? It's like a publicity move, or do you think he really believes what he said, or is he just trying to say some controversial shit to get some dust stirred up?
I think it's twofold. I think his album is coming out soon, so I'm sure he's trying to drum up some controversy, and it's working. Obviously, people are talking about him all over the country. He's trending on the internet right now. And so he's doing his job in that regard. But I think he believes in what he's saying. If I can go back, man, just real quick, even to his initial tweet that got everybody upset about Donald Trump, calling Donald Trump his brother, wearing the Make America Great Again hat. That is what initially rubbed his fans the wrong way, and specifically his black fans. But let me tell you something, man. What I have observed from black people is that we can be some of the most fickle motherfuckers on earth. We can be. We will turn on you with the drop of a motherfucking hat. And that is a problem, man. Remember, even Kanye West, the other musicians that he collaborated with, some of the musicians that he actually put on, right, who he gave opportunities to, they've all turned their backs on him. And so what has really transpired is symptomatic or indicative of how black people have this really, I think it's more of a condition where within the community, if someone expresses a thought or articulates a feeling that conflicts with the majority, he or she is immediately made an outcast. And that's not fair. It's not fair. If black people suddenly thought that 2 + 2 = 5, and I said, no, it equals 4, they would call me a coon. And that's not cool. Kanye West, and think about the backlash for these statements of
they call you that anyway, Corey. They call you that anyway, brother.
So I'm saying, think about the backlash that Kanye's comments have actually caused. Now you have someone named Dash Dillinger who hadn't been popping since the 90s. Who the fuck is this guy, right? He has put out a national announcement to all Crips, attack this nigga on sight. That's what he said. And so, once again, an example of a black male resorting to violence to resolve conflict or to resolve a problem with another black man. All I'm saying to you is that what we need to do is embrace independent thought, because for too long, black people in general have subscribed to the same ways of thinking. We vote for the same politicians. We believe in the same God, and we fight for the same causes. And so when we say, oh, well, black people aren't monolithic, I've heard that. Many black folks have said that throughout the years. We are monolithic. Well, we're clearly that's not the case, because if we aren't monolithic, then we should be accepting Kanye's views. We don't have to agree with what he's saying, but we certainly shouldn't be threatening him with violence. We shouldn't be spewing vitriol and hate in his direction simply because he has different political views than we do. That to me says we are in fact monolithic, because we expect all black people to believe the exact same shit.
Well, I don't agree. They come out of brothers like Kanye West and other brothers. I disagree with a lot of shit that people say, but I do believe that they have the right to say it. I mean, they have the right to say it, even if because I'm pretty sure there's people out there that disagree with the shit I say up here every week, but I have the damn right to say it. Okay, right. So I do believe he has a right to say it. But see, what bothers me, when someone like a Kanye West says something, right? I mean, I can say shit. I got, a few hundred subscribers and fucking 20 people watching my shit. I mean, I don't have a lot of influence. I don't have that big ass global reach. Kanye West has a global reach. You know what I'm saying? His reach is global. So when he says things, I think it has, and this says a lot about us too. When he says something, I believe that a lot more people take it a little more seriously. They tune into it. They can kind of identify with it because his reach is so large, because he's global. I mean, people in China and Africa know who Kanye West is. Don't nobody in Africa or damn China know who X is, but they know who damn Kanye is. So that's my problem with people who have a big, gigantic platform, and when they spit this kind of stuff out, the type of influence that it has over a particular type of people. Now, mind you, it's because these particular type of people can't think for themselves, but at the same time, you have a bigger reach. So the bigger your reach, I think the more responsibility you have, and kind of watch what you say. I
totally agree with you. But see, the operative word in what you said is global, right? The world is bigger than the black community. So if Kanye West keeps himself in a box so that he can appease black folk, he will never grow as an artist. He won't grow as a human being. He won't grow as a man, because he will devote his life. I mean, this is what we're asking him to do, right? To say and to do things that black people support, that black people find morally correct. And that's not cool. How do you expect a man who has a global influence, as you just articulated, why should that man pigeonhole or confine himself to the expectations of African Americans only? That doesn't make any sense. The world consists of billions of people. So why should he be a spokesman for the black community only? He's limited himself.
True.
And so we can say, oh, well, black people put him on. We're the reason why he's hot. Well, you know what? The problem with black folk is that we are usually adverse to change. We're resistant to change. We're allergic to it. We are allergic to evolution. That's the problem. Kanye West is attempting to evolve. Now, you might be doing it the wrong way. I don't necessarily agree with this approach, but he's attempting to evolve. And so when you have a global reach or global platform, it really is his obligation now to expand his mode of thinking so that it includes people of all racial backgrounds, not just black folk. We pulling them back. This is crabs in the barrel all over again. This nigga's trying to advance. We pulling him back because we want the old Kanye. Well, he's no longer the old Kanye. That nigga's 40 now. He's no longer 24.
Yeah, well, you don't think he could have done that without saying slavery was a choice, Brother Haywood? He didn't have to say that to evolve, did he?
What I'm saying to you, once again, earlier in our conversation, right, I interpret it in a certain way. And here's the thing. You have people who are, I think, emotionally fragile, right? So my knee-jerk reaction to what he said was, is this man crazy? But I had to sit down, calm myself, and then re-examine what he said so that I can gain perhaps a different perspective. And I have. I didn't agree with his delivery at all. Slavery was not a choice. Slavery was absolutely horrible. But I don't think he meant to marginalize the severity of slavery and the lasting effects of slavery, right? Because Black people, to a degree, are still suffering from what slavery ultimately produced. But I don't think he meant it in that fashion. And so Black people, when we hear something we don't like, rather than reacting, because that's what we often do, we need to sit and freaking think. Black people, we all think we're so fucking smart, but anytime we encounter an action or a statement that we don't like, we immediately react rather than think. And that has been our MO for years, and that's why our community is in shambles right now. We need to think, not react.
Well, regardless of anything else, you know that, I mean, you say some shit like that, you're gonna get you're getting some backlash, or should I say blacklash. It's coming.
Blacklash.
So
Absolutely.
He had to have known that before saying it. I mean, there's no way you can come out of your mouth with something like that and expect nothing to happen. I mean,
I think he did expect it. Kanye West, look, I'm sure that he knew his statements would spark controversy, right? Would invoke criticism. I'm sure he knew all of that. Kanye West has never been someone who's shied from criticism. He's been controversial his whole freaking career, right? And so we can't expect him to be modest now. The thing is, when he was aggressive about George Bush, we all celebrated that statement, despite the fact that it might have made a few white people uncomfortable. But now that he's saying some shit that we don't like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you need to pump your brakes, man. Watch what you say. We can't have it both ways. It's hypocrisy, brother.
Well, I don't really believe that. I don't really believe that Black folks, well, I guess some Black people do. Let me take that back. Some Black people do probably expect to have it both ways, but I think that when you see, slavery is a touchy subject. You know, that's a very touchy subject right there. I mean, when you talk about slavery, you best be talking about it in the proper context, or people are going to try to have your damn head. I mean, that's just the way that's going down. If you're not talking about that shit in the proper context, people going to be out for blood. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I mean, and I don't think he's totally stupid to that fact. You know, I don't believe no Black man that's in his right goddamn mind is totally stupid to the fact that you need to talk about slavery in the right context, especially when you're sitting in front of white folks. You know, you definitely don't want to be talking about slavery as a damn choice when you're sitting in front of white folks. That you shouldn't be saying that. Shouldn't be saying
he should not address sensitive topics unless he is prepared, number one, for the backlash, and two, he should be able to articulate his thoughts in a manner that is, first of all, based on fact, right? And to, you know, if it's his choice if he wants to be diplomatic, right, or politically correct. But I think, once again, his delivery was definitely off. When I heard it, I was shocked, to be honest with you, because, you know, initially when Kanye West first hit the scene, he seemed like a pretty smart guy. I mean, I think he's college educated. He seems socially and politically aware. And so a comment like this, I'd never expect to come from Kanye West, right? But again, I have to sit down and re-examine it. And so I've drawn a different conclusion than many people. But remember, bro, we're talking, you got Black people out here upset with Kanye. I bet you half of these Negroes don't even know when slavery was abolished.
That's probably true. That's probably true. But should they be less offended because of that? Should they be less offended because they don't know?
I think that because remember, slavery was, I mean, look, what I don't like is when young Black people under the age of, let's say, 30, when they claim that they're oppressed to the degree that their ancestors were. No, you weren't. You weren't. Don't lie to yourself. I don't like when young people use slavery as a crutch. And I don't like when young people use slavery as like ammunition, right, to further demonize white America. You didn't experience slavery. Your granddaddy didn't. Your great-granddaddy probably didn't. So don't use slavery as a weapon to gain sympathy from the rest of society. I don't like that, especially when you really don't know your history.
Wow. Well, the first hour has gone by with Brother Haywood. So I know y'all itching and scratching, boy. I know y'all itching and scratching, boy, to get a piece of old Cory. And let me tell you something. Old Brother Haywood ready for y'all too. So if you want to join, let me know. I will send you the link if you want to come in and take a crack at Brother Haywood, because he said line them up. He's taking all comers. So it's gonna be a good one tonight, y'all.
Absolutely.
You know, and line them up. He ready for you. He ready for him to be lined up, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he ready. Yeah, you know. So if you want me to send you the link, put one in the chat so I know who wants to jump on, because most of y'all I have most of y'all emails. So put one in the chat and I'll send the link right to you, and you can come on and take your shot at Brother Haywood, because I know y'all just itching and scratching to get at him. I know y'all. Lady Kendra, and I see Lady Kendra in the house. What's up, Lady Kendra? What's up? Brother BJ Allen D, I see you up there too, brother. And Master Gundam, whoever the hell that is. I have no idea who that is. I can't even pronounce they shit. JL5, what's good? Okay, JL5 wants in. Brother Faulkner wants in. Who else wants in? JL5, I don't have your email, brother. I don't have your email. Brother Faulkner, I got your email. Let me see who else wants in. Who else wants in? Let me see who else wants in. I doubt if it's going to be a shortage of them tonight, Brother Haywood. JL5, you got to post your email, brother. I don't have yours. Brother Faulkner, that's coming right over. I'm sending that down the pipe now, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, man, let me tell you something. I got a list of beloved Black icons.
Okay.
That I'm ready to trash right now.
What?
Let me tell you something right now. Man.
Let's do it. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. You know, I don't censor my guests. Pull the trigger.
The traits that we have attached to Donald Trump were present in people like Tupac, are present in people like Louis Farrakhan. I can name at least 5 or 6 people right now who were flawed men, and we still celebrate them within our own community. I mean, we can start right now with Malcolm X if we really want to do that. Malcolm X, before he became a prominent leader of the Nation of Islam, I believe he was a pimp and a hustler and a criminal, was he not?
Yes, he was. He was.
Okay, so this is what we do with the whole grab him by the pussy comment that Donald Trump made 10 years ago. We're holding him to that, even though he made the comment 10 years ago. We aren't giving him the benefit of the doubt that he could possibly be a changed man. He may have grown since that comment. Mm-hmm. But we would give Malcolm X the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that, again, He was a convict before he converted to the Nation of Islam. He is one of the most popular, one of the most celebrated figures in our community. And he was once a pimp, a hustler, a criminal, and later on a convict. That is hypocrisy. Let's move on to Tupac. We call Donald Trump a sexist, do we not? That he hates women, he's a misogynist. We call him that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Tupac, if I recall, was accused of sexual assault, was he not?
True. True.
He was in and out of prison, in and out of the courtroom. He fractured probably more laws than he could count. Not only that, but his persona was based on a stereotype that black men have tried to escape for decades. He called himself a thug, and yet we still celebrate him, do we not?
Yep, we do.
Let's talk about racism. We call Donald Trump a racist. Yet Louis Farrakhan, who is beloved within our community, many black people don't like him, but many black people do. This man constantly calls white people blue-eyed devils. And oh, by the way, how much poison and hate has he spewed toward the Jewish community? That Negro is a racist too. And yet we like him. We love him anyway. The hypocrisy is real and it's disturbing. It gets under my skin. I hate it. And it's because these people are black. That's why they are given the benefit of the doubt. But this white man, Donald Trump, no, we can't give to him.
Wow. Well, me personally, I mean, I don't like Donald Trump as president at all. I mean, it's not even so much that he's a bigot and a racist. It's more like I consider him to be kind of buffoonish and kind of unsuited for politics in a whole. So I mean, that's what I don't like about him. He does a lot of racist, bigoted shit, of course, but I don't think he's what I think Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a result of America. This is what America is. I mean, he's rich, he's white, he's bigoted, he's discriminatory, he divides people. I mean, that's what America is, okay? I mean, he's not a symbol of America. He was created by America. This is what America is. So, I mean, no one can be surprised with how he is, man. I mean, I didn't vote for the guy. Hell no. I would vote for Kermit the Frog before I voted for damn Donald Trump. But, you know, I just feel like he is just a product of America, man. He is what America is. That's why he's in office. He's what America is now, man. It is what that's what it is. That's what
reflection of the country. I absolutely agree.
Goddamn right.
He's a reflection of the country. And I am not a Trump supporter. I'm not an avid Trump supporter. He's entertaining, which is why, every now and then I can get with what he says. But I'm not an avid Trump supporter. And mind you, we all voted for Hillary Clinton. Many of us swarmed the polls to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though her husband signed a law that put thousands of black men in jail. Did he not?
True.
So I mean, look, if we're going to talk down to other people from our moral high ground, we should be consistent, right? The Clintons were detrimental to the black community, and yet they are beloved within our community. So we need to keep it 100 when it comes to the Clintons, to Donald Trump, to anybody. But it seems like we're selective with who we aim our hate at.
Well, I think a lot of times, man, we don't really know. A lot of us are followers. So if we see one person mad at somebody, we don't even really have to know what the person that they're mad at. We don't really have to know what they said. Just because, our brother's mad at him, we mad at him too. There's a lot of that shit going on too.
I like to say I don't like Clinton. Never voted for Clinton.
Yeah, we done been joined by Brother Faulkner, and we got a few more people I sent the link out to too, Brother Cory. I think they want
to. So I got to dress a little spiffy at the desk. So
I know I see you, man. Every time I see you, man, you all styled out and shit, Brother Faulkner. But yeah, I think that a lot of us, man, we have a tendency to find ourselves angry at things without researching it. I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with black people in black society being mad. I just think people should take a little more time and figure out what they are mad at, as opposed to being mad at something just because someone else is mad at something.
I will say this, You know, a lot of black people don't like too many people who think outside the box.
It's true. True.
So when Kanye expresses his rhetoric, the least he could do was, like I said on Angry Man's platform, the least he could do is have some intellect behind it. Express why you think it was a choice. Last time I checked, if a motherfucker's beating my ass and saying you can't leave or I'll kill you, the choice has been made up for me. Now, could he have actually expressed that there were slave revolts such as the Seminole Wars and the Nat Turner revolts where black people put the choice back in their favors and said, I'll kill you or I'll die myself. I'll be a free man in my grave than a living one on my knees. Okay, I can kind of almost somehow maybe kind of see that. But to say that all of slavery was a choice, bruh. The whole thing about it is too many people want to call, well, Louis Farrakhan, he's a hypocrite. A lot of people probably had a hypocritical moment in their life. Some of us just never been called out on our bullshit. Some of us don't even know our reality of it.
I believe that too. I think a lot of us are mad because people we know are mad, or people who look like us are mad. A lot of us don't even know what the hell we mad at. That's what I was saying earlier. We don't even know what we're mad at. I think we should at least know what we're mad at, if nothing else.
And that's the point. Like, if you're going to be raged out about something, have a direction, have a scalpel. Don't be the blunt object. Know what the fuck you're getting mad at, research it, and come with an intelligent rebuttal. I'm tired of this emotional fucking knee-jerk reaction by people.
You know,
it's the fact of the matter that I'm a point on to something that Brother Cerulean said. I'm tired of people saying black people are racist. We don't have an institution to promote racism. I can't keep the average Asian white Arab man from getting a job, but they can sure as hell keep me from getting a 7-Eleven, gas station, corporate America, college, on the whim. So we cannot be racist because we do not have an institution to be racist by. I can be prejudiced, which is my own individual behavior and thought process, yes. But to be prejudiced, hell no.
To be racist, you have to have power.
If I can respond to that, guys, first and foremost, I think there are at least a few definitions that we can attach to racism here, first and foremost. And then secondly, when you talk about the working class white individual, he or she has no power to affect you at all. So if you're talking about the powers that be, many of whom come from all racial backgrounds, perhaps they are classists. See, the problem is we're focused on this from the wrong perspective. This isn't a race issue, it's a class issue. And so people of a higher class or of a higher status, they have the power to oppress not only black people, but everyone. Now, in my opinion, the definition of racism is discrimination based on color, religion, or whatever else.
But Cory,
people are capable of that.
It's not class?
We're capable of that.
Isn't race not class?
Race and class are two separate concepts.
Now, do they judge you because you're poor? Or do they judge you because of your race?
You can be judged because you're poor, absolutely. I guarantee you that if, let's say, Oprah walks into a clothing store, and I'm not talking about that clothing store overseas that she went to and was turned away from, somewhere in America. If Oprah walks in, I'm pretty sure that the employee and the manager would be very hospitable and accommodating because she has money. She has fame.
Remember, she was told she was prejudiced against what? Not because she's broke or have money, is because her ass was black.
I understand that. We're talking about overseas. That incident that happened overseas. I'm saying that in America, people like Oprah, people who have money, power, resources, they are just as...
I love you, but that's being disingenuous.
That's not being disingenuous. No. I absolutely know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or I'm not trying to mislead you at all. What I'm saying to you is that people who have money have power, no matter what color they are. And so poor people, white, black, or otherwise, we all experience the same struggles. There is no magic carpet for white people that takes them to success or to economic freedom, opportunity, or prosperity. If you are poor, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or green, you're going to experience the same challenges. It has nothing to do with race. It's about class.
Okay, can I ask you this? If it was
Sure.
all about class, when you took black people out of slavery, why did they make gun laws just to keep blacks from arming themselves, from protecting themselves? If it was just about class and not race, why did they have an undeniable amount of people coming out of their woodwork to make unions to keep skilled blacks, former slaves, out of work and keep the working jobs in the unions? Why did they
Okay.
come
Well,
What
greetings,
the,
esteemed
to keep
brethren.
blacks?
What's going on? The panel's
So you
filling
guys can
up.
hear me?
It's filling up.
So you guys can hear me?
You better get it. Yeah, I can hear you, brother Cerulean. We
Get
done
in
been
when you fit in.
we done been joined by
Okay.
brother Cerulean Gray and the master teacher himself. What's good, brothers?
Hey, master teacher, you know what you got to do.
Well, you know what I'm saying is, I was telling Cerulean in the comment section, this is what comes from the oppressive school
assimilation.
system and assimilation. Then basically, what you're hearing now is a third generation of assimilation. You're hearing it right out of the damn near from the slave master's mouth. Really, I mean, this is exactly what they want.
Absolutely.
This is exactly what they want.
You know, this is a massive brainwashing construct that we call mainstream media, in which you use celebrity to push your narrative to the group which is most acclimated to that celebrity. For instance, you want us to subvert black folk, you use a black celebrity. That's why you've had people like, for instance, what's his name, Steve Harvey, telling the women to think like men.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the same
or
thing.
Hillary Clinton, or if you
Well,
recall, Hillary Clinton
is
recruiting Jay-Z and
inconsequential.
Beyonce.
One, you know, Hillary Clinton, you know, for the record, again, to use Beyonce and Jay-Z to get black folks to vote for her. Hell,
Exactly.
even going so far as to carry hot
Hot
sauce
sauce
in
in
her
her
purse.
Exactly.
Which didn't work.
Which,
because black folks really don't like Bill because
But
Bill is charismatic, but Hillary Clinton didn't get the black vote. She didn't get it with Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton was that beloved by black people. Barack Obama would have never won because he was actually supposed to be her vice president. So that tells you how they feel about Hillary Clinton. She actually lost. The vast majority of black people didn't vote for her. A lot of black people sat out because they didn't have a candidate.
But that
Right.
proves
I
one
agree
thing.
with that.
That proves one thing is that despite what people might think about America, they're not completely stupid.
No.
When you say they, who are you referring to?
We're talking about black people. We're not stupid.
Okay. No, we're not stupid. We're
Yeah.
not. But I do think
But
I
you
do
know, there's
think
an
we
interesting
suffer.
thing
Let him
with
finish.
these.
Let him finish the room.
Black people were not stupid, but what I do feel is that we suffer. We often subscribe to groupthink. That's what I feel.
That's because everybody subscribes. Everybody
That's what you're
subscribes to
supposed to
group
do.
because if you look at what's going on in Europe now, with all the right wing thought all over Europe, is that not groupthink?
I would agree. Yes.
We don't even have to take them to the macro, esteemed BGS. We just look at what's happening here in America.
Oh yeah.
The only reason you have what's going on in America is because this is a product of groupthink. White people are a monolith. See, white people don't need you to speak for them. You see how you tried to make those false representations, those false equivocations between, for instance, Donald Trump and Farrakhan.
Didn't
One
make
who
false
comes from
equivocations at all.
it's a false equivocation
It's not a false
because
equivocation.
Let him get his point across, Corey. You got yours. Let him get his point across.
It's precisely a false equivocation because one comes from a group who is nurtured by all of the wealth of society and one has been deprived from all of the wealth of society. So one is incubated in the oppression that's created by the other. So that's a false equivocation.
What does that have
Now,
to do with two men making racist statements?
Oh, well, let's
one,
hold on, son. Let's get one thing out of the way. Race. You cannot be black and be racist because you didn't create racism. You didn't create race.
Oh,
Who created
my
race?
God.
Who created race?
We don't have an answer for that.
No, yes, you do. Race is a created concept by Northern Europeans.
According to
if you look back at race, you can actually find it. That's how come a lot of people don't look at their history. Race is a created concept by white people to make all white people. No, now you're sure what?
And I'm sure that what you're saying right now, some white person, some historian could flip and say, well, the concept was actually created before we did.
No, it's not.
We could go back
No, it's not.
and forth.
No, it's
Absolutely.
not. No,
we
it's
could
not.
go back and forth with this all night long.
It's not.
Absolutely.
It's not even a very long conversation. It's just that
I'm saying we're pointing fingers at
unaware
them.
Or ignorant to how racism actually came across.
I understand how racism came about, but what I'm saying
racism came about because
if you understand it, then you know where it came from.
But what I'm saying to you is, hold on. What I'm saying to you is this. You are saying that because white people allegedly created racism or conceptualized racism, that black people are therefore incapable of perpetrating it. And that is simply not true. Okay, well, in that case,
hold on, because you just said something. You said because black people are completely incapable of practicing racism. Just correct the mundo. You want to know why?
Okay, so hold on. Let me
hold up. Stop. I want you to stop right there. Because one, you did not get to choose to be black. Someone told you that you were going to be black, and you're still going by that term. You're still identifying with that term.
We place labels on many things.
So when you're talking about black people, you're talking about forced identitarianism.
Okay,
so
somebody
told you this is what you get to be, and then the little red herring that I hear that you made, that a lot of so-called moderate liberals, neoliberals like to make. Hold up, because I let you speak.
I'm going to respond to what he said.
I'm going to respond to what he said. It's not about race, it's about class.
Let me respond to what he said.
Race and class are one and the same.
Let me respond to what the brother said. I'm going to respond to what the brother said. First of all, you said that because white people conceptualize racism, that black people can therefore not be, or rather we cannot perpetrate or carry out racism because we didn't create it.
No, because there was a system that was created around that very idea, that very concept.
Hold on. I'm making a point.
Well, make your point then. Make your point.
Okay, then. Well, if I can be allowed to, I will.
Okay, go ahead. Make your point.
Who invented the concept of flight?
The concept of who?
The concept of flight. Who invented the airplane?
Who invented the airplane?
Yes. What two people are responsible for creating the first airplane?
It wasn't.
One is not even.
No. Let me finish my point.
That's also a false equivocation.
Hold on, let me finish my point.
It wasn't all we were right. It was actually before we were right. But
so hold on.
There was more than two people.
So what? No, what I'm saying to you is
the concept of the airplane goes all the way back to Italy in the 13th century.
I understand. What I'm saying is the first two people who are more prominently known for creating the first airplane are the Wright brothers. Two, they aren't certainly not black. So are you insinuating that because the Wright brothers are responsible, or rather they've been given credit for creating the first aircraft, that therefore black people can't do the same thing because the Wright brothers conceptualized it?
You're talking once again. See, this is why you are out of your depth, Corey. Is because I'm
not out of my depth. I'm asking you
another false equivocation.
It's not a false equivocation. You said that when somebody invents a concept that other people can't, whatever reason,
Hold on. I got this. He asked me. Okay. Hold on a second. Does tribalism and groupism actually come before race? The concept of race. How far back does it go?
Really back to our nation, Africa, ancient Africa.
All the way back to Africa, too. One tribe didn't look like another. It still exists, does it not? Even amongst Africans, right?
Absolutely.
Is that racism?
Well, was racism invented then? Remember, the white man created
I
it.
asked you a question. Is that racism?
I'm sorry. According to you, that's not racism because
It's called
white
tribalism.
people invented it.
When French people don't, or Gauls don't like Germans, is that racism?
No, not until white people created it did racism exist.
Exactly, because it's a white construct, and it's a
Right.
white.
I'm being facetious right now. If you didn't catch that,
it is a white construct imposed upon you by white
I'm being facetious,
people.
right? Here's the whole thing. There are plenty of concepts. For example, the English language didn't originate in Africa. Do we speak it?
Let me ask you this, Cory.
Do we speak it or not?
Did language exist before there was English?
But see, Cory,
It doesn't matter.
are we Englishmen? Hold on, Cory. But are we Englishmen, Cory?
It doesn't matter. Do we speak the language or not?
Do we speak the language or not?
Do we speak the language or not? What I'm saying is,
are Italians white or are they Italians? Which one are they?
Okay, now we're speaking language.
Whenever they come to
what I'm saying, the point that I'm making to you is,
where does the concept of white come from?
What I'm saying to you, hold on.
Hold on. Where does the concept of white and black come from?
According to you, it came from white people.
Or do you? Well, I'm asking you, where do you think it came from?
To be quite honest with you, because I wasn't born then, I can only go with what the historians say, and I can find conflicting reports. I can find conflicting discoveries.
Where?
I can find conflicting discoveries. I can find conflicting analyses of both.
No, not find them. You're arguing the point. Where are they?
What I'm saying to you is we're both arguing the same point.
No, that's
but
bullshit.
Unless you can produce concrete evidence to substantiate what you're saying, I'm not going to just say, "Oh yeah, you're right," like most black people do. That's not how I get out.
You can actually. I actually post this stuff. And I actually posted a video from a Dutch woman that actually talked about slavery. The slave trade from the 15th century on to until the latter part of the 19th century. Okay, if you listen to that, she will actually give you documents and tell you that the concept of white and black as a race did not exist until the 18th century. After what's his name? Talk about evolution.
Who was actually, he was a studier of Lamarckian science, which is where you get epigenetics and all of that nonsense.
If I take her word for it, let me then respond to what you're saying. White people, let's just say theoretically, right? White people did create the concept of race.
Yes.
That means hold on. We're calling it a concept. So does that not mean this concept can't be taught to other people?
It has been taught to other people.
When you say that black, you are an
example of what happens whenever it's taught to other people. Actually, Cory.
When you say that black people can't be racist, if they, due to slavery primarily, if they are reared or if they are conditioned in an environment that promotes race as a concept, then over generations, black people were not only
This is the basis of racism.
Let me finish.
No matter whether we're programmed or conditioned to believe in race as a concept, the fact is we do now, and we often perpetrate. It influences the way that we think, the way that we treat others, and the way that we view ourselves.
Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. I want him to finish.
So the fact is,
let him hang himself. He got the rope.
Hold on, I don't do that.
You got the rope. You got the rope.
No matter who conceptualized race or racism, the fact is that black people, due to the environment that we currently live in, we are actually born in it. We're conditioned. We are programmed not only to believe in it, but to perpetuate it. That is what we have done, which is why colorism within our own community.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How do you know that you're black?
Because I'm looking in the mirror and I see brown skin.
Who told you were black? Who told you were black?
That's why.
Who told you were black?
No one told me I was black.
Yes, they did. Somebody told you.
No one told me I was
Yes,
black.
they did. Yes,
No
they did.
specific person. No
No,
specific
no, no,
person
no.
told me
Hey,
I was
Cory,
black.
Cory,
Somebody told you were
Cory,
black. Come on, man.
Cory,
No specific person told me I was black.
Y'all bullshit, man. Come on, man.
Cory, what racial
Hold on.
identifier is on your birth certificate?
What I can tell you. Well, hold on. Hold on. What I can tell you is
Stop
I'm trying
this.
to
Stop it. See,
Because
now
hold on.
Okay,
you're
go.
giving now you're letting me know exactly. Now you're letting me know exactly why you named your book Coonflakes. See, because
Hold on.
like
Wait a minute. Wait.
the real cereal,
Hold
and
on.
the only
Hold
thing
on.
that it goes well with is
Yo,
something white being poured
yo,
on it.
yo. So once again, that was very, very clever. But let me continue. What I'm saying to you is, who told me I was black? I was told that I was African American, black. This country, this world is dominated by. Hold on. This world is dominated by labels. Do you have a problem with Africa
Who
being
gave
called
you the
Africa?
label?
Because technically, that's a label too.
Who gave you the label that you were black?
I'm saying that
No. Answer the goddamn
labels are
question,
placed.
dude.
Hold
Answer
on.
the
Hold
question.
on. Wait. I answered the question,
No,
and I'm
you
telling
didn't.
you
No,
that
you
as
didn't.
a.
No, you didn't
I did
answer the
answer the
question.
question.
You soft shoed
I
right around that
absolutely
question.
did.
You didn't. You danced around the
I didn't
question.
dance on anything.
Who told
Oh
black
yeah,
people
you
they
soft
were
shoed
black?
around that question.
I'm telling you that if white people told us we were black and we
Hold
listened,
on.
hold on, let
Did
me
we
finish.
tell
Can I
white
finish?
people that they were white?
Let me finish. Let me
hold
finish.
on?
Hold on.
Did we tell
Oh my
white
God.
people that they were white?
Hold on, because now we're really deviating from the original
No, we're
topic.
not.
But I'll
No,
continue.
it's not the
Hold
Answer
on,
it's the
wait a
same
minute,
point.
wait. The fact is, I will reiterate.
Go ahead, put the noose around your neck. Go ahead,
Hold on,
man.
I will
Go
reiterate.
ahead.
Let me reiterate.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter
No,
who
bullshit. It does.
conceptualize.
No.
Hold on, it doesn't matter. I will tell you why. No. Okay, you're not gonna allow me to finish.
No.
I
Who
can't tell
told
you
you you were black?
my mother told me
Answer
that I
the
was black.
question first. Answer the question. Answer the question honestly, then we can go on. Answer the question.
Honestly, a white man didn't tell me I was black. The history books didn't tell me I was black. My family told me that I was black. They could talk. They look in the mirror and they think that they're old. They think they're black. Your mother probably told you that you're black, and your mother told you that you're black. This is what we have ultimately been reduced to. We use the labels that were given to us by white people.
Your mother, hold on.
No. Do you remember? You're a history buff, right? I hope, right?
I know history on a basic level. Yes.
Remember a little thing. No. Hold on. Remember a little thing called
You're
Plessy
not the
versus.
fucking Pope. You're really more the
Remember
judge.
a
Anyway,
little thing called Plessy versus Ferguson.
Sorry,
Remember
repeat that.
Plessy
I
versus
didn't what you said.
Plessy versus Ferguson. You know that one.
Refresh my memory, please.
When Plessy tried to, who was 7/8 white, tried to ride on a railroad, and the case went all the way to the Supreme Court, so that the states had the right to determine who was black and who was white as a race legally. Remember that? And he lost. That's where the one drop rule comes from.
Right.
Because you had a lot of mulatto people that were mixed with other things, and after slavery, they needed a way to determine the color line. And how did they draw the color line? It had to be legalized, and the case that they used was Plessy versus Ferguson, which is where I have a lot of we call light skin, or the mulatto class of the integrators that actually
damn near white.
So basically, where does the color line come from, and where does the idea of race come from?
Again, I think that we have established, and I am giving you all the benefit of the doubt simply to expedite or push forward this conversation. White people invented the concept of race. Okay, let's say that that's true. The fact is, no matter who invented the concept of race, Black people, not only have we accepted it, but we have embraced it. It's become part of our lives, embedded in our own culture. What do you think the NAACP? Hold on.
Definition of power.
What do you think
In other words,
NAACP
race is being imposed on us. In other words, it's like calling a murder victim complicit in his own death.
What's the definition of power, Cory?
No, that's
Death is being imposed on you. Just because you
not the
got killed
same.
by a
That's
murderer
not the
doesn't
same.
mean that you are
That's
also
not-
a murderer.
Hey,
Yes,
Cory,
it
We
does.
don't
what's the
have to.
definition
We
of
don't have
power?
to identify.
Yes,
Hold
it
on.
does.
We don't have to identify as black. We don't have to identify as African American, but we do.
But Cory, what's the definition of power?
That's not a requirement. It's not mandatory.
It doesn't have to identify as you can identify as white if you want
Woods,
to.
how that worked out for him. We called him some common Asian. He didn't identify as black either. That's how that worked out. But see, here's the thing. Now, if you want a proper,
Hold on, brothers. I got to take a little time to do some station identification.
Okay.
Because tonight's lit ass episode is brought to you by Greer's Lawn and Landscaping Service right here in the Queen City. They do hardscapes, they do softscapes, they do all kind of lawn care, lawn renovations. They can turn your yard right around. That's Greer's Landscaping and Lawn Care right here in the Queen City.
They got a number or address?
Yep. Their phone number is 704-605-7194. That's 704-605-7194. Mention T.P.O.T. and you get an automatic 5% off right off the rip. Mention T.P.O.T. You get 5% off whatever you get done inside your yard. So make sure you call Greer's Landscape and Lawn Care because they are here to serve you, and they also give free estimates as well. So call them up at 704-605-7194. That's Greer's Landscaping and Lawn Care. They are here to serve you, and they are a sponsor of this here show tonight, y'all. And carry on, brothers.
So once again, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. This is another example of black people wallowing in their own self-pity, and I love it really. So let me continue. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I want to get on it. No.
Actually, let me finish.
No. Wait a minute. I want to say something. You just gave us a diss. And we've been giving you nothing but facts and truth of which you are not aware of. So basically,
I am absolutely aware of it. I'm saying it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, it doesn't. Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
I've been chopping at the bit for a minute.
Go ahead.
There's a couple things. Now, if you really want a true equivalency, we're talking about the concept of race and the concept of airplanes, right? Now, what we're talking about is the equivalency between manufacturing processes. Now, could a black person create a plane and fly? Sure, because the plane is someone's idea, but it can be duplicated. That's true. But the difference between that little example that you made, which is not really an equivalency to race, is that with race, this concept around it was built systems, institutions, policy. Now, if you want to use flight, stop, because I let you speak as long as you could.
You really didn't. You cut me off, actually. All of you did.
Now, with flight, for instance, if there was not only with the concept of the airplane, but came the building of manufacturing, the control of the resources that go into planes, and the jobs dispersion. Locking people out of those jobs, for instance, because they were black.
Can you land your plane? Land your plane, please.
Well, look, I mean, if you were a history buff, then I'm, the Pope.
Can you just land your plane? Because this whole soliloquy that you're delivering right now, can you just land your plane and get to your point?
Oh, I know you're not talking about soliloquy, because I remember the last time we actually had an interaction, you said that we need to start teaching children how to think like conquerors. And I need to know.
Absolutely. And so you all,
hold on. Let me ask you, what the fuck have you conquered?
All of you motherfuckers tonight is what I'm conquering.
Oh, please, you didn't even know what Plessy versus Ferguson was. You talking about conquering? Are you
kidding me?
That's great. Are you kidding me? So the only definable skill the only definable skill that you have conquered.
Hey, he didn't
was
even know
running
what Plessy versus Ferguson was, guys. Get the fuck out of here.
Matter of
was
fact,
running
Oh man, you
your-
got
your
this
coming and
one
going,
intellectual? Are you kidding me?
aimlessly, without
Let
even
me tell you
having any
something.
of the
Like I
basic knowledge.
said,
I mean,
all of
Plessy
you
versus
saying,
Ferguson. I mean,
you're
third
saying
graders
all
are
of you,
learning about this
all
stuff.
of you are on this. Look,
No,
on
no,
this
let him
call.
finish.
White
Give him the
people,
rope.
they impose.
Now,
Wait.
now you
White
talk.
people.
Now you just
Oh my
talked all
God.
that crap. You
White-
said that
I-
that people are wallowing in their own self pity when
Yes,
it is in
that's what you're
fact
doing.
you. When it's in fact you who is wallowing in your own self
In
pity
what pity? I'm
because
not.
of
And
your
first of all,
own
I'm not
personal
wallowing in
failure.
anything.
See,
If
what it
anything,
is
it's that
is
personal feelings.
that
What's
you are a
happening?
failure at life because
What's
you don't
happening right
understand
now?
really.
One
This
at a
is
time.
You
what's
think
happening.
individualism
Oh, yeah.
is
This
the
is what's
answer to
Down,
happening.
Bruce.
everything.
This is
Down,
what's
Bruce.
happening right now.
No. We're
You
not
have.
going. We're not
Hold
going
on.
to go
Wait.
down
Down,
tonight.
Wait a
Bruce.
minute.
It's
Hey,
going
hey.
down.
Bruce.
Brother
It's
Haywood.
Quiet
going down
down.
tonight. See,
Down,
Hold
Quiet
on, hold on,
down.
hold on.
you
Quiet
are a
down and let me
failure.
finish.
You
Cerulean.
Quiet
are a
down and let me
failure at
finish.
life.
Cerulean.
You have
Cerulean.
Calm
Down.
proved
yourself.
Gentlemen,
that you are a
Cerulean.
failure
I
at
will
Cerulean.
not
anything,
do this.
On,
even
Tell
the
me.
Cerulean.
basic.
Let me
Cerulean.
continue.
Cerulean.
hold
Cerulean.
on,
Give him the
hold
rope.
on,
Give him the rope. He's
All
got
right,
rope now.
yes,
Give him rope.
Sub-Zero,
on.
let me get the floor, please.
Give him the
So,
rope.
what I'm saying,
old
Make,
king of the
what I'm
strong.
saying is,
make your
you
point,
have,
Brother
hold on,
Haywood,
wait a
and
minute.
then make your point, Brother Haywood, and then let Brother Cerulean respond to it. Go ahead.
Absolutely, no problem.
And please,
I
if you
believe there are.
let me say this: if you don't want
Lord
if
have
you
mercy.
don't want this stuff leveled at you, and you want to have a civil intellectual discourse,
What
to
do you
do
level
so.
at me? I never said I couldn't take it. What are you talking about? So please let me continue.
Basic. You can take
But the
it.
way
You
that
all
you've
can
been
try. You all
you've
can
So in
been
other
try,
words,
but I'm not
you're
slipping.
an intellectual idiot, and you use slurs to actually cover it up. That's what's happening.
I mean,
What's
the way
actually happening
the
is
That's
way
what
that
you
what
you've
I'm
are.
been
doing is
That's what
I'm
you
ministrating
are.
all
responding.
over this
I'm
panel.
responding
I
to what
mean,
you all are saying. And
No, you're
again,
not.
like
No, you're
black
not.
folk, you're resorting to
I asked
name
you.
calling
No,
because
I
you
asked
really
you a
have no
simple.
point.
I asked you
Let
a
me
simple.
continue.
I asked you a
I'm
simple
going to
question
answer the
about who
question.
told
And
you
your
were black.
specific question is
Gotcha.
no one came to me and told me, hey, look, no one came to
you
me and told me, Corey, you're black. It was
you
something
are way
that
out
I
of your
discovered. Hold on, wait.
How did you find out that you were
Wait a
black?
minute.
And where did your parents
Hold
you're
come
way out
from?
of
on.
your intellectual depth. You
Wait
named
a
your
minute.
book Coonflex because you have no intellect of your own.
You see, this is
Believe
what happens.
everything.
This
You
is what
believe
happens.
everything that
No,
falls
It
out of the
turns.
ass of white
Give him
This is
people.
what
the
happens.
rope.
It
Once
turns into a
again,
shouting
Cerulean,
white
match.
people.
on.
Here's
Give him
the
the
thing,
rope.
yo.
Give him the
I'm
rope.
going to
Give
answer.
him
I'm
the
going to
rope. Give him
respond.
the rope.
I'm
Give
going
him
to
the rope.
I
respond.
mean,
This is
shit, you've been
actually fun for
responding
Cerulean.
for
me.
the
Give him
last
the
30
rope.
damn minutes.
Let me
Cerulean. Give him the
respond. The
rope.
thing is,
And they said shit.
Cerulean.
Hold
this
Cerulean.
on,
is
Give him the
fun
rope.
for
hold
me.
Give him
on.
the
This is
rope.
fun for me.
Brother
I
I
Haywood,
mean,
enjoy
you've been
this
I don't know
shit.
Brother
why.
I live
Haywood,
for this shit. I love this shit.
If you like ass kickings as fun to you, I guess so. Go ahead. Give me.
Ass kickings, you guys have done no such thing.
Oh
What you've
please.
hold
done,
on,
Oh
Brother
please. You
Haywood.
wipe the
you've
floor
done
with
no
I
your
such
won't
thing.
ass,
say
man.
this
This
is
is what
an
happens.
ass
This is what
Brother
kicking.
happens.
Haywood.
You've done no
Yeah,
such thing.
basically.
all you
You
have
guys,
done
you
is
All
guys
right,
have.
Basically,
all
when
This
you
is
want
what
to
all
have
happens
you
you want to
right
have
have
now.
an
done.
I gotta
intellectual
start
okay?
muting
Go ahead.
folks. I
All you
gotta
have
start
done
muting
since you
folks.
have been on this panel
Start muting
is pulled a
folks.
mulligan.
Go ahead. Go
And
ahead. Go
it's
ahead.
one of the
X. Go ahead. X. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start muting folks.
Okay.
I want
Let Corey speak. He's
I
got the
want everybody to speak. I got Brother Haywood muted right now.
rope.
I
Okay.
want to let Brother Haywood speak. Then anybody who wants to address him can. I
Okay.
don't care about the mudslinging. I don't care about the fighting. I just wish everybody would throw their punches one at a time.
All right.
Okay. I don't want it to be this. No combinations, guys. One damn punch at
One
a
at
time.
a time. All
One
right.
punch at a time.
Well, let's shorten up the answers instead
I
of.
mean, this guy's all over the place.
All right.
I mean,
All right, Brother Haywood, I'm going to unmute you. Brother Haywood, make your point. Then I'm going to let Brother Cerulean respond, and whoever want to respond after Brother Cerulean can.
Cool.
Go, Brother Haywood. Brother Haywood,
He's still mute. Unmute yourself.
unmute yourself. Brother Haywood.
he can't even conquer the mute
No.
button.
Cerulean. Down. He's got let the dude hang himself, Cerulean.
Unmute yourself, Brother
Hanging
Haywood.
myself. I had to mute myself. Hello?
Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
he's not hanging
Make your
himself
point.
fast enough for me.
Make your point.
Okay, I'm
Cerulean, let him
sorry.
hang himself.
Go ahead.
So once again, so you have black men here complaining, whining about what the white man imposed on us so many years ago. And the vestiges of slavery are still affecting the black community right now, despite the fact that many of our challenges are self-imposed. self-imposed and self-inflicted, we're going to blame the
Good.
white man rather than look at our own selves, because that's much easier to do. Black
Nope.
people, this is
No,
what we
let me see.
specialize in, pointing the finger. We're
Prove it.
incapable of
Prove
examining
it.
ourselves because it's much easier to blame other people.
Prove
This
it.
is what's going on right
Prove
now.
it.
So once again,
Prove it.
the
Prove it.
concept
Give us
of
an
race.
Prove it.
Give
Hold
us an
on,
example.
hold on. The concept of race. White man. Well, he created the concept of race. He created the concept of racism. Meanwhile, we're ignoring the fact that as Black people, as human beings with brains, with the ability to think and to understand concepts and even apply them to varying degrees, we may have learned the idea of racism.
One point at a time. One point at a time.
Hold on. No. All of this is the same.
No.
What I'm saying to you is,
One point at a time.
I'm making a point that I would like you to actually hear rather than interrupt. So once again, we are blaming white men for concepts that were invented however long ago, rather than looking at our own community
Which
and
concept?
wondering why.
Which concept?
Hold on.
One at a time,
Hold
because
on.
there's a tons of concepts that white men have imposed upon
Hold
one
on.
at a time.
Well, obviously, we know what we're talking about here is race and racism.
No. Okay, race and racism. Okay, that's the point.
Okay, then. So what I'm saying to you is that according to the dictionary, race simply is discrimination based on color. You all are intellectualizing it to make it seem as if racism requires power and wealth, when really, at its most fundamental level, racism is discrimination based on color. And if you feel like Black people are incapable of that, then I'm sorry, but you are sorely mistaken, because we discriminate against other racial groups constantly. And by the way,
Do we?
white people who are working
Give
class.
us an example.
Let me ask you a question. No. Hold on. I want to ask you a question.
Give us an example of that black on non-black discrimination.
I'm going to ask him a question. I wanted your clarification. Is racism the same as discrimination?
They're definitely cousins, absolutely.
No, are they the same?
Discrimination is in the literal definition of racism.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Look it up, please.
No, it's not.
Give us an
It
example
absolutely is. Look it up right now.
What is the definition of discrimination?
I just said discrimination based on color. That is the definition of racism, literally.
Discrimination is based on color is the definition of racism. Racism is not the definition.
Absolutely.
Wait. Racism is not the definition of discrimination.
I said racism is discrimination based on the color of one's skin. That is the primary definition of racism.
Listen to me, because this is an intellectual argument. Listen to me. Is racism the definition of discrimination?
I just told you that the words are synonymous.
No, they're not synonymous.
I just told you the words are synonymous, and that discrimination is in the definition of racism. Look it up.
You know, when saying what we read the definition of racism.
Give us an example.
No.
Of black or non-black discrimination and racism.
Cerulean, hold on a second. Give me the definition of racism again.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Because you didn't get it.
Once again, racism is discrimination based on color.
Based on color. Okay.
Yes. More specifically, race.
Now, can you have discrimination based on ethnicity?
Oh my God.
I'm asking you a question.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, answer the question. It's an intellectual conversation.
I can discriminate against fat people. You can discriminate against many things. Where are you trying to go with it?
In other words, you can have discrimination based on weight, based on eye color, based on hair color, based on. Wait a minute, Cory.
Look it up. Get a dictionary.
Cory.
Get a dictionary.
Listen to me.
Get a dictionary first before you come
Cory.
Get a dictionary.
Discrimination means separation. In other words, you picking one piece or the other.
I stopped everybody from interrupting you, Brother Haywood, so you got to let us.
Well, I was almost finished with my damn point, but hey, no problem.
You've been about almost finished for the last 45 minutes.
The fact is, I was making points you guys really can't counter.
Basically, I just countered the point, but go ahead, finish your point.
No, you didn't counter the point. You did not counter the point.
Yeah, right.
You did not counter the point.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Look it up. I dare you.
Look it up.
Get a dictionary and look up the definition.
No, you're there. You made the point. Now prove your definition. You haven't.
Can I say something after Cory makes his rebuttal?
Go ahead. Yeah. Let him look up discrimination while you make your point, because he hasn't looked it up, because he doesn't know about the etymology of words or the meaning of words or the logic of words, because
great shit.
A might lead to B, but B doesn't necessarily lead to A, and that's what his logic is all screwed
My
up.
whole thing is, like I asked him, what's the definition of power? If you could dictate reality to other groups of people and they accept your reality as truth, that's power, isn't it?
But see, even Cory is a victim of racism.
He's got a very ethnocentristic mindset that black people are the people who put themselves in that the bunk. Yeah, we are the accomplices sometimes, but we didn't put ourselves in this funk.
Yeah.
And then on times where we try to live and become better, what happened? White people came to fuck with us. They put laws into place.
Okay, are we back? Sorry about that.
Yeah, you back. You back.
Okay, so if I can finish here. So you asked me to give you an example. Brother Cerulean asked for that.
I asked for
Yes,
the
I asked
definition
for
of
an example for
I gave you the definition of racism, and that's what it is.
I wanted the definition of discrimination, because you're trying to
Okay, but we're talking about racism and discrimination. I
have a very important question. Are those bracelets you're wearing, are they silver?
The bracelets that I'm wearing, they're silver? No, they're not.
You're deflecting like Wonder Woman. That's what he's trying to say.
But they're not silver, so the joke really fell flat. That was a good try, though. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I'm not deflecting. How am I deflecting when I'm making a point and this guy's talking about?
I asked you a question, an intellectual question.
What I said to you was that I'm focusing on racism right now.
I know, but it said I said
I'm focusing on racism. That's not deflecting, because I'm focusing on the topic. How am I deflecting by focusing on the topic?
Because we're asking you to define racism, and you're trying to.
I just defined racism. I just did that for you.
Then you try to equate it with what? Discrimination.
I'm not equating anything. Discrimination is in the definition.
Yes, you did.
Discrimination is in the definition of racism.
Yes. So is color. Color is in the definition of red, but they don't. But the thing is,
oh my God. So we're dismissing the fact that racism. We're dismissing the fact that discrimination
can be practiced by an individual, whereas racism is something that is only practiced by a group against another group out of the belief that their group is superior to the other.
Okay, and that's why skinny people discriminate against fat people. There you go. If you're not fat, if you discriminate against fat people.
But is skinny a race? Is fat a race, you fucking idiot? Is skinny and fat a race?
What are you talking about?
Are they racist?
I haven't called you. Look, I haven't called you out of your name. I love when people talk tough on the phone.
Are there a race of people called skinnies? Are there a race of people called skinnies?
About? We're talking about discrimination right now.
We're talking about racism.
We're talking We're talking about discrimination. We're talking about discrimination.
You're trying to put
We're talking about
discrimination.
We're talking about discrimination. He asked me about discrimination, and I said that skinny people can discriminate against fat people. You mentioned. Hold on. When one group discriminates against another group. That's what he said. When one group thinks itself superior to another group, often that's when discrimination happens. That's why I mentioned skinny people versus fat people, because skinny people often feel superior to fat people. That's why I mentioned it. You can't call me stupid, sir. You're not your weight class. You're not qualified to call me stupid. You're not worthy to call me stupid.
Hold on. Now keep going. Now keep going.
None of you are worthy.
Keep going, Cory.
Because the definition of racism is being discriminated because of race.
None of you
Fat and skinny are not races. You
just said no. You said one group. You didn't say one racial group. You said one group. You said no.
Go ahead.
You didn't say one racial group.
Go ahead.
He specifically said.
And the reason why you continue to talk over everyone on this panel is because you know that you are in deep water.
The reason why I'm talking over you is hold on. It's because first of all,
make your point.
First of all, I won't let him. It's because I won't let any of you interrupt me. I won't allow any of you to interrupt me. That's why I keep talking over you.
One at a time.
I won't allow any of you to interrupt me.
No, Cerulean, go ahead.
One at a time, please.
Cerulean, go ahead.
Tell Pound to plug that hole, Corey.
Make
Sorry,
your
what'd
point.
you say?
Make your point, Cerulean. Make your point, Cerulean. Because you've already disproved your whole. You always disprove your whole argument.
I haven't disproved anything.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
How so? How so?
Because you try to equate discrimination with racism. Just
what are you talking about?
You are familiar with the concept of subsets,
What do you
right?
mean equate? I'm saying that discrimination is literally in the definition of racism.
It is, but red is also in the description of.
Oh my God! Okay, all right.
Dude,
that's stupid.
Are you gonna act like a woman or what, man?
So that's dumb.
First
of all, okay,
you haven't even heard what I said to call it dumb. Actually, it's not.
It is.
How many colors are there in the rainbow?
Dude,
How many colors are? In other words, it's maybe thousands of colors in the rainbow. How you want to separate them, right? Okay, they're all colors. Okay,
but they fall under what umbrella?
They fall under one umbrella, but that doesn't mean that red is the definition of color.
Just like racism and discrimination. See, the difference between racism is I'd rather be discriminated against than have a racist view. At least if you discriminate me, at least I can get a chance to get up there to be discriminated. Racism, you already out the board before you even get it there.
That's not true. Once again, you're forgetting about all of the.
I never said I was finished, goddammit.
All right.
I never said I was finished. And I'm pretty sure you did get the joke about the bracelets, by the way. Don't make me play
I didn't get the rope because I'm not wearing silver bracelets, number one. Number two, I'm never giving a lie. I'm never giving a chance.
This is the reason why you build up straw man arguments. It's because you know that you're
Corey, you now it's your turn to listen.
This is the reason.
When I try to speak, I'm interrupted constantly. Am I not?
Get out your feces, man, and wait till I finish.
Well, y'all do the same shit when I speak.
Listen, I don't even have to take this from my 10-year-old son.
We asked you.
You ain't got to take it from me, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. You ain't take it from me either.
Damn, please.
Hold on.
You have no argument,
Calm down.
You got no argument.
Let brother.
I haven't said shit for like 30 straight minutes.
Let brother
Falk
get
an argument out of you.
Corey.
It's been a while since brother Faulkner has time.
For what?
Let brother Falk.
Corey.
Go ahead, speak.
Let brother Faulkner say
it. Corey, I'm only gonna say this because I love you, because you're my brother. But you still wet behind the ears from your own piss, man.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
And I'm only going to say this because I love you as my brother. I don't give a fuck about what you think.
I know you don't. That's evidently not because you're intellectually incapable of doing so. Go ahead.
No. You say intellectually. That word doesn't apply to you.
We give you
that word doesn't apply to you. That word doesn't apply to you. How do you have so many degrees but you're incapable of articulating? Your degrees don't mean shit in this conversation. Your degrees mean nothing.
Who said
your degrees mean nothing? Your degrees mean nothing.
Who said anything about degrees?
Nothing.
Your degrees mean nothing.
Degrees mean nothing.
Hold up. Disturbs me, right?
Can I tell you guys something really funny?
The degrees mean nothing.
Because that's where me and Corey actually agree.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Go ahead, Charles.
How many times have you heard me say that I am an apostate of mainstream academia?
Yeah. Brother Faulkner, go ahead. Brother Faulkner.
I'm about to play the theme song, man. Like, goddamn, this is the part that disturbs me. So you're gonna equate fat shaming with racism.
I'm not.
No. Stop.
That's not what I did. That's not what I did.
Corey, stop.
Brother Haywood.
Like you said, I let you say it, correct?
So you're gonna. When did
local, state, and federal laws were invoked against fat people?
Let me answer, because you're putting words in my mouth.
No. I'm just like this. Any other type of prejudice.
He's putting something in your mouth, but it's not words.
That's so good.
Yeah, it is good.
That's so good. Hey, look. So what? Here's the funny thing. This is the funny thing. This man has made 3 or 4 homoerotic jokes.
Well,
are you gay, Cerulean?
Go ahead.
Are you gay? Because you keep on invoking the idea of
we think your
homosexual
loafers
behavior.
might be a light. Yeah, we think your loafers might be a light, but that's okay. Go ahead,
Are
Charles.
you gay? Cerulean, answer this question. Are you gay?
Corey.
Because it's okay. It's 2018.
Corey, let Charles finish his thought, please.
God damn, man. And you wonder why I said Wonder Woman.
Hey, well, don't put words in my mouth.
I mean, he asked me, another black man, if I was gay, just like the black man.
Charles, finish your thought.
My whole thing is, even if they're under the same umbrella, guess what? They're on the other end of the fucking spectrum. Because guess what? When were there laws invoked for fat people? I mean, shit. What would they for decades, if not 100 years or so, or more, have they not put laws up to discriminate against black people?
That was profound.
Any laws have been invoked against fat people?
Okay, you asked that question. This is your fourth time. You're getting repetitive now. Let me answer.
Are fat people their own race?
Let me answer the question because I want to answer his. I want to answer his very profound question. First and foremost, Brother Cerulean originally said that discrimination is when one group imposes their superiority on another group. He did not specify race. He said one group versus another group.
Actually, I did specify
Hold on, wait a
race.
minute.
What I actually
I
said
was responding to his comment. He said, wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute. You said one group. Hold on. He said one group. Wait a minute.
It was actually a rhetorical question, so he could continue his argument. Corey,
wait a minute. I'm telling you why I said what I said.
Corey,
stop saying my name, sir. I know my name.
It was a rhetorical question. Say yes or no, so he could continue his argument. No, Corey.
No. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to speak. Absolutely, I am. Once again, okay, then we're going to speak together. You and I. Let's speak together in sync. It's going to be synchronized. You and me. We're going to speak together. You and me.
Because we can't hear anyone. We can't hear anyone. We can't.
So, like I'm saying, when Cerulean mentioned that discrimination is when one group.
I mentioned it. Before you go and lying on me, because this is
I'm not finished. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue.
It was a rhetorical question.
Hold on. I understand you. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Brother Haywood.
You're not going to tell me.
Brother Haywood. Brother Haywood. Let him finish his point, Brother Haywood. Then you can respond.
I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
Point. Then you can respond.
He asked the question 5 times. The same question.
Corey, let him finish his point.
Let him finish his point. Then you go ahead and respond.
In the words of Vince McMahon, goddamn, pal.
Don't ask him no more questions, Charles.
Damn. So in other words, can you put the complaint of fat people feeling a little discriminated against to a whole race of people who had laws invoked for them not to sit where they want to eat, not to go to certain schools, not to be treated as second-class citizens? Now you may go.
I'm going to respond to your question because you just asked it again for the 6th time.
Because you didn't understand the first 5.
I know. I understand your question. What I'm telling you is that I said what I said because Cerulean originally said that discrimination is when one group imposes their superiority on another group.
Cerulean, let him finish.
That is exactly what Cerulean said. That's exactly what he said.
Cerulean.
That's what he said.
Because he's going to keep repeating.
That's exactly what he said. He did not make it about race. He said one group versus another. Hold on. Now you see that I'm answering this question with my own fucking response.
I'm trying to stop him.
Hold on. I responded to what Cerulean said.
No, Corey, hold on a second.
You're failing.
Corey. I'm trying to Corey,
I know what he's doing.
I'm trying to get him quiet.
You don't talk to a man like that over the phone. You don't talk to me like that over the phone. You can't be gangster over the phone. Don't do that. Don't be gangster over the phone. Don't be gangster over the phone. Don't be gangster over the phone, brother.
Listen for a second.
I suggest.
Listen for a second.
I'm trying to stop him.
Corey, I'm trying to stop him.
Hey, I'm answering this question. You're chiming in. You're cutting in. I'm answering this question.
I'm trying to stop him, not you.
hold on.
Brother
Let me answer
Haywood.
what he said.
Acting like an
Brother
over-entitled Instagram model.
Cerulean,
Make
let
your
him finish.
response. Make
Cerulean,
your
let him
response.
finish.
Let him go. Let Brother Haywood go ahead and talk. Go ahead, Brother Haywood. Make your response.
Once again, Cerulean said that discrimination is when one group imposes their superiority on another group. I was responding to that comment when I said that skinny people do that to fat people. I did not equate that example with race. I was addressing Cerulean's comment specifically. What you guys are doing is
that's not
deflecting
what
from my original
Cerulean
statement
said.
by
Stop.
honing in on that is exactly what you said.
Cerulean,
That's
stop.
exactly what you said.
Make your point, dude.
That is my point. That
Okay,
is
you're
why
done.
I
Well, then
made the
you're done. Well, then no,
response.
you're done. You're done. You made your point. Cerulean, go ahead and go.
First of all, no, you can't tell me that I'm done because it's
Yes,
not your show, sir. You can't tell me
Hold on.
anything.
You made your
You
point.
can't tell me that I'm
So,
done.
Corey, you
Hold
made
on,
your
hold
point.
on.
You can't tell me that I'm done.
Hold on,
So
hold
once again,
on,
I'm going to
Brother
go back.
Haywood.
I'm going to go back to my original point. Actually, is that white people who are poor, white people who are
Look
working
at you.
class, who
Right
don't
when you
possess.
were
Hold
in
on.
self
Once
Oh my
pity.
again,
gosh.
you keep
Okay.
on doing this shit. You keep
So
on
when you
doing this
while
shit.
when
I
you were in
like a
self
rebuttal
pity,
to that
you
one,
keep
I'm not.
Corey.
on
Hold on.
repeating
So allow me
yourself.
to.
Hold
Hey,
on.
I'm
I
going
would
to
love
keep
a
talking.
rebuttal to that
Brother
one real
Haywood.
quick.
Brother Haywood. Hold on, everybody. We've been joined by Brother BJ Allen D. He just joined to the panel. So I want him to go ahead and chime in because he just came on and he hasn't been able to speak. Brother BJ Allen D, go
What's up,
ahead
B?
and your piece. What's good?
Hey, what's up? How y'all
Greetings,
doing?
esteemed BJ.
What's going on, man?
Man, I just been listening to this rhetoric, just in the chat room, man. Just the whole fact that he's trying to defend Kanye West, talking about that's his opinion. That opinion affects millions of people and how they view us, and that is very disloyal and dishonest of Kanye West to say that slaves is basically just a choice, like our ancestors just say, hey, let's get on the boat and roll over to America and become someone's slave and let them whip us, hang us, kill us, rape our kids, rape my wife, rape me, and all these different things. And for you to sit there and say that, oh, he's entitled to his opinion, that's the problem we have in our community when we keep protecting celebrities. We keep protecting people that are disrespecting our lineage and disrespecting our cause and plight. And for you to say that being skinny shamed by fat people and discrimination and being black and being discriminated by white people is the same thing, you got to be crazy.
That's not what I said. Once
Well,
again,
that's
hold
what
on,
it
let me
sounds
respond.
like you saying.
We no. We were we were discussing.
Brother Haywood, hold on.
Wait
Brother
a minute.
Haywood, hold
But
it.
listen.
Let him finish his point.
If I was a kid listening to a playback, that's what I would have picked up on. And that's the problem we have with a lot of people that's cooning for white folks. And every time that Brother X asked you something, you start caping for white people. Say, well, black people, they need to stop doing it. I'm like, come on now. Why are you protecting white people? That's one of my biggest questions. Are you getting paid for this? Are you doing this for free?
Can I respond to you now? Let me respond to you first and foremost. First and foremost, I'm going to respond to him. Hold on. Let me respond.
Let Brother Haywood respond. He was asked the question.
Okay, first of all, we were discussing discrimination at the time when I made that statement, not racism. So I said that skinny people can discriminate against fat people. I wasn't equating it to slavery or to racism. Let's get that clear. And second of all, if you listen to me speak at the beginning, I said that I don't agree with the way that Kanye West delivered his thought, but I sat down and examined it, and I realized that perhaps he did not mean to say what he said. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Just like, hold on. He made a statement that was ill-advised or perhaps in poor taste. But Kanye West has a history. Kanye West has a history. Hold on. Kanye West has a history of doing this. When he made the comments about George Bush, I'm pretty sure that it fucked with a whole lot of white people's minds, but we did not rage against him then. We did not criticize him. We agreed with what he said about George Bush.
Let me ask you a question, Corey. Well, make you. Let me ask you a question, Corey.
Most incredulous
No, Corey.
George Bush.
Wait a minute. Saying that George Bush may be racist, or I think that George Bush don't like black people.
That's not what he said. He said George Bush doesn't like black people.
He said George Bush doesn't like black people. That's his opinion, right? Is it? No, wait. Okay, that's an opinion. But saying slavery was a choice is a lie.
Yes.
Okay, what I'm talking about his delivery, and I'm saying that he rambled up until that point. I'm saying that perhaps you see that this is the thing.
So
We all hold
let
on.
me ask you a question.
Hold on.
So no,
Hold
so
on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
so
I'm
delivering a
talking
lie.
about.
So delivering a
Wait a
lie
minute.
that's funny, or it's an
No,
opinion,
I didn't say.
or
I didn't
it's
say delivering a
sarcastic.
lie. That's no. Hold on. What I'm saying is, you view it as him delivering a lie. I view it as
It is
him
a lie.
misspeaking. That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
lie.
Is
And
slavery
perhaps,
being a
hold
choice,
on.
I don't
or a
Hold on.
lie?
I view it
I
as him
don't, can I
misspeaking.
say something? It just because you delivered a lie softly, you delivered a lie funny, it's still a lie. I don't care how you dress it
I
up.
understand that it's a lie. I'm not saying that what he said is correct.
I didn't finish my point. When I put my hand down, then you can speak. But right now I'm
What
speaking.
do you mean your cyber
But the thing
hand? Because I
about it
can't
is-
see your hand right now.
Hold on. Can I speak for a moment?
That was cute. That was clever. Go ahead.
I have better comportment from my women. Jesus.
Right, and I'm trying to
really?
keep it,
That's great.
trying to keep it gangster right now. But
From your women, that's
push my
wonderful.
buttons. But the thing is, it was a lie. It's not an opinion. He said it was by choice. It wasn't like my opinion is I feel like slavery was by choice. He said no, slavery was a choice. That was a period.
It came out of his mouth.
Opinion.
So that automatically makes it his opinion because it came out of his mouth. He didn't say according to history or history proves that slavery was a choice. He said himself, in his opinion, that slavery was a choice. And once again,
and that is a lie.
And that's a lie.
Once again, hold on. I believe, yes, he clearly misspoke. He also followed that up with a tweet. Hold on. He also followed it up with a tweet saying that the way that it was perceived or interpreted wasn't the way that he meant it. We didn't take the time to calm down and examine what he said, and perhaps
Okay. So what did he mean? What did he mean?
So let me explain to you. I will explain to you what he meant. I did it
What did he
earlier.
mean? No. What did he mean?
Okay. I did explain this earlier. Apparently, you all weren't listening. That's fine. That 400 years of slavery included generations who not only accepted their existence as slaves, but also embraced it. Many of them did. The word Uncle Tom actually comes from black men snitching on other black folk who plan to escape from their plantation. That's where the word fucking comes from.
No,
so what I'm saying to you is, hold on, wait a minute,
no, it doesn't.
You got it wrong already. That's what you got already. You got it wrong already.
Hold on, wait a minute,
He's speaking just like Kanye, I'm guessing.
Hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
I guess you got the same
I know, wait, hold on, wait a minute,
hold on, wait a minute, Uncle Tom comes from hearing beat your stoves.
I know, what I'm saying, hold on, what I'm saying to you is, our use of the word Uncle Tom is where it came from. That's what I'm saying. Our use, black people.
No, our use of the word
absolutely
Uncle Tom still comes from area beat your stove.
I'm saying our use of it applies to that. When black people turn on other black people, that is the way that we use it. So let me finish. Once again, there were slaves. If you watch the movie Django,
wrong?
Isn't that
wrong?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Wait a minute.
So we get all
Hold on. Let me make my point.
Wait a minute, Brother Haywood. I gotta stop you there, man.
So we get all
that Uncle Tom term is wrong. If we really want to apply that term, we should be using the term Sambo. We actually shouldn't be using Uncle Tom.
Right. I understand, but we use. I understand, but we use.
I'm just saying.
We use Uncle Tom synonymously.
But we use it wrong, though. We're using it wrong.
I understand we use it wrong. I understand that.
Do you want to know why black folks use the word Uncle Tom?
Hold on. What I'm saying to you is the application. Hold on. Wait. Wait a minute, bro. The application.
White folks did not like the character.
Oh my God. What I'm saying to you is this.
Because Uncle Tom.
I'm making it for you. Ask me why, and I'm answering this question. I'm answering his question. I'm answering the question. Ask me a question.
No, you haven't answered the question yet.
I'm answering the question. He interrupted me. Let me answer the question. I'm answering the question.
One at a time.
Once again,
One at a time.
I'm answering the question.
People.
I'm answering the question. So once again,
I will start muting people.
Shorten your answer so we can actually.
Hold on. No,
finish your point. Finish your point, and people can go ahead and rebut your point.
It's brilliant.
Finish your point,
So
brother.
the application of Uncle Tom is wrong, but we use it for a specific purpose, and that is to categorize or label those who turn on other black people. Period. That's what it's used for even today. But if I can go back, there were slaves who didn't even realize they were slaves. I believe Harriet Tubman made that point. So Kanye West was referring to those. He was referring to those people who were living
holiday pay for slavery.
No. Yeah,
wait a minute.
Charles.
Wait a minute.
Let him
Hold
finish.
on. He was referring to those people who were living in a specific existence and didn't even realize it. They were enslaved on such a deep mental and psychological level that they didn't even find fault with themselves or their slave masters. That is what he was referring to.
Corey,
let me finish. So when he said it was a choice, so when he said it was a choice, what he meant was that apart from the Nat Turner Revolt and others, black people over 400 years, we had opportunities to revolt. We had opportunities to escape that existence, but many of us consciously chose to stay where we were because we were conditioned, programmed to believe that where we were was fine, that it was good, that our master was good, that our existence was good. That's what he meant.
Oh, that's what he meant. But the thing is, the lie is
No, that ain't what he meant.
hold on a second.
That is exactly what he meant.
No, that's not what he meant.
No. The lie is, did they choose to be a slave?
No.
I'm saying that no, initially, absolutely not. What I'm saying to you is he said it was a choice.
Thank you.
Hold
It
on.
wasn't a choice.
And once again, that's why I said he misspoke. He should have elaborated.
It's a lie.
Can I address something that he said earlier?
It's not a lie in the way I said it.
It's a
Not in the way I
lie.
explained it. It's not a lie in
And
the way I
Corey,
explained
can I
it.
address something that you
It's
said
not a lie
earlier?
in the way I
It's a
explained it.
lie, Corey.
It's not a lie in the way I explained
It
it.
is. It's a lie.
No, it's not.
That's what's
Not
wrong
the way I
with
explained
that's
it.
what's
You
wrong
that
with
you
the
said earlier.
liberalized, brainwashed, Prussian school
Once again,
educated, whitewashed people.
No, the way that I explained it was not a lie.
It's a
I'm
lie.
saying that we are still enslaved
It's a
psychologically.
lie.
We were enslaved then.
It's a
No,
lie.
it's not a lie. We are still enslaved.
Corey, it's a
We
lie.
are still enslaved. We are
Corey,
still
it's a
enslaved.
lie.
address
All
something
of
that he
us.
said earlier?
We are still enslaved.
Corey, it's a lie.
You are still
We are still
enslaved.
enslaved.
Corey, it's a
I
lie.
know.
You are still
It's not.
enslaved.
No. Once again, it can't be a lie. And what I'm telling you is,
let me ask
he
you a
was
question.
referring to
Corey,
mental enslavement. That's what he was referring to.
Did those people have the choice to walk off that plantation and not be slaves anymore?
They had the choice to walk off that plantation and fight for their humanity. Absolutely.
In other words, they didn't choose to be a slave. They had the may have had the obligation to die and to not be enslaved. The choice that was imposed upon them, but they did not have a choice. So in other words,
I'm telling you that many of them actually wanted to be there.
Did they choose? In other words, when you say you have a choice, it means you have an option, right?
How did you know they wanted to be there?
That's what choice means.
Hold on a second, really. So in other words, to have a choice, you have to have an option, right?
Yes.
Did they have an option of not being a slave?
Absolutely.
No, they didn't. Nobody
Absolutely.
said sign on the dotted line whether you want to be a slave or not be a slave.
What I'm telling you is he was referring to mental enslavement. They had option not to be mentally enslaved.
We're not talking about mental enslavement. We're talking about physical enslavement. Come on, man. Come on, Corey.
When he made that tweet, we're talking about mind over body.
Come on, Corey. Now you want to get esoteric. Now you want to get esoteric.
No, I'm not getting esoteric.
Yes, you are.
He sent out a follow-up tweet, and he sent out a follow-up tweet, and he specifically said, I was referring to mental enslavement. Many of the slaves wanted to be there. Once again, Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed many more if they knew they were slaves. Many of them didn't even know they were slaves in the first place.
Did they have a choice of being slaves or not?
They had a choice. And they had a choice psychologically to capitulate and submit to it.
Now we're getting esoteric.
We're not getting esoteric. They had a choice. They had a choice not to submit or capitulate to their own existence. They had that choice, and they refused not to. That's what I'm saying. They embraced it to a certain extent. Many of them accepted it, and they allowed it to happen for 400 years. They were not only physically enslaved, but mentally enslaved as well. And that's what he's referring to.
This is my thing. There
Go
were
ahead,
folks
BJ.
born into slavery.
You're a shining
You're
example.
talking about the people that was born into slavery at that point. We're talking about people initially becoming slaves.
How do we know he was referring to those people?
Hold on.
We didn't know he was referring to those people.
Okay,
Brother Haywood.
because
Brother
you keep
Haywood.
going.
Let him make his point. Go ahead.
Man.
Bro.
All right, sorry, my bad.
Because you keep jumping at time periods. We're talking about initially did they want to be slaves. Now you're talking about Harriet Tubman, which is further back, you know, and a little closer to us in time. But we're talking about initially did they choose to be slaves?
That's a time period, isn't it?
Huh?
That's a time period, isn't it? You said I'm talking about time period. So are you?
But what I'm saying initially, you're trying to say,
Okay.
oh, it is.
And how do we? And once again,
what time period are you talking?
I'm saying once again, Kanye West may have misspoken. He should have elaborated and said
why are you
that
taping so
throughout
hard
the.
for
Hold on.
Kanye
What I'm
West?
saying is, I'm saying
You know,
that we hold on.
No. Let him finish. You said
because I've been
we
I've
assume
been talking at the fucking bit, and I've been doing all this shit, and this thing ain't got to the fucking point yet. And you know what?
I have gotten to the point. I have gotten to the point. What are you talking about? I made my point very clear. I made my point very clear.
Hold on, everybody, just hold on.
This is what I was saying.
I made my point very clear.
Down, Bruce. Down,
Bruce. Especially no niggas
that
I made my point.
Down,
talking for them.
I made my point. I made my point.
Just hold on so I can do some station identification up in here.
Sell some product.
You're listening to the T.P.O.T. YouTube page right here on the old Prophet of Thought series. It's lit up in here tonight.
Give all your links.
I need y'all to hit these damn likes right here because the watch numbers have exceeded the like numbers. And if you're feeling generous, if my mods would be so kind to put the donation links right up in here somewhere, drop a few coins in the bucket because this is like pay-per-view. So you should be willing to pay per view.
We could talk about cat videos, and we could talk about we could talk about Lawrence Welk and polka dancing or something boring.
Don't get this kind of heated discussion everywhere, so this got to be worth a couple dollars. So I need some likes in the bucket, and I need a few dollars over here. Like I said, my mods will be so kind. What's up, Lady Classic? I see you up there. All the unicorns in the house. Throw a few coins in this bucket right here because you don't get stuff like this all the time. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let Brother Cerulean talk, okay? And then if you got a rebuttal, Brother Haywood, you can rebut. If you don't have a rebuttal, then the master teacher is going to speak. Well, better yet, this is what I'm going to do. I'll let Cerulean talk, and then the master teacher, and then Brother Haywood, you can come in after that, all right? So we're going to do Cerulean, master teacher, Brother Haywood, and Brother BJ. That's the order. I'll say it again. Brother Cerulean, the master teacher. Brother Haywood, then Brother BJ. Okay? Okay. Go ahead, Professor Cerulean.
You know, last time we talked, you know, we had the we had the show about what is cooning. I thought it was interesting because on that show I said white folks do not need no Negro speaking on their behalf, and yet that's all you hear. And the reason why you see these Negroes speaking on behalf of white folks is because pervasive cowardice that is underneath the skin. That minstrel blackface that they put on. They come around here, hey, brothers. While they're selling you down the river to white folks so they could do things like, I don't know, get a popular reality show slot, get a comedy special, or even sell a book. Not just any kind of book, but one that's self-denigrating, just like all the other media that you see the coon, or what I've dubbed the flying monkeys, auditioning for. White folks don't need you speaking for them, Negro. Kanye West meant exactly what he said. Talking about he didn't mean it like that. How the fuck would you know?
How the fuck do you know, nigga? How the fuck do you know, nigga?
Because he said it. It came out of his mouth.
Okay, then. So you are interpreting this as well as I am.
Brother Haywood,
I take it as it comes. If it walks like a fucking duck, quacks like a duck, and fucking floats on his fucking hindquarters like a fucking duck, guess what? It's a fucking duck. That's what he said. That's what the fuck he meant. And I know what he was really saying. What he was really saying is that I have to say this because if I don't say this, then white folks are gonna strip this little check from me. You know, the same
What
thing
check?
that who do you don't think he pays himself, do you?
Cerulean,
the check that
keep making your point, Cerulean. Keep making your point.
the check that Universal holds over his head. You know that same check that the Warner Brothers held over Prince's head when he came to that award show wearing slave on his face. You see, and this is a popular thing with a lot of these black celebrities. They get to talking like coons and flying monkeys and mockingbirds for white sympathies because that's who pays their checks. That's who cuts them. The same thing what I said about when me and Obsidian had the back and forth, and he kept trying to quote Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is a senior fellow over at the that Stanford Institute. Okay, and he doesn't get to talking like a goddamn coon. Guess what?
They pull his
stripped
check.
that check from him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did it before. They did it before. Because remember when he wrote Race and Economics, which is his most honest work. He hasn't wrote a book quite as prolific as that one, and that one wasn't even as prolific as it could have been. And he talked about race and economics. He talked about like, how he meant it and how black folks, because they were conditioned, the initial point of trauma that was committed to create the slave. That is what we are addressing. That was not a choice. And in fact, what Cory Haywood has displayed on this show is an example of the fact that, yes, you're right. Some black folks did want to be slaves. They wanted you were a shining example of that. Because anyone is because someone is intellectually ill-equipped as you are to get to speaking on the platforms that you do to influence impressionable minds with your mindset to tell them that, oh, this is all, if we just look at our own community. Well, let's examine how our own community was created. Our own community was
tonight.
Well,
it's just your time.
When are you gonna shut the fuck up?
Perhaps when you land your fucking plane, Negro. How about you do that?
Brother Haywood, you're gonna have plenty of time to respond, brother. Let him finish. You got plenty.
Well, shit. Will it be before my 30th birthday?
It might be. Well, hopefully.
And see, this is the other thing that he.
You're gonna be able to.
See, this is the other thing that he does. Actually, whenever he's intellectually ill-equipped to deal with actual.
How many times are you gonna use that expression? Intellectually ill-equipped, intellectually ill-equipped. Can you find something else?
You are
come with another word.
Now, you complaining about you being stopped,
Brother Haywood. Please, man.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not gonna let anybody interrupt you either. So,
okay. All right, my apologies, man.
I'm gonna let nobody interrupt.
See, that's what he does when he's out of his depth. He gets to interrupting, diverting, and deflecting the conversation into something. So we're addressing these little small fucking points that don't even really add up to a hill of beans.
A hill of beans.
But white folks don't need your black ass speaking for them. That's why you named your book. That's why you named your book Coon Flakes, because you're a fucking retard.
No, I actually named it because of niggas like you.
You named your book.
I named it in honor of niggas like you.
Because you are a fucking retard. You are a retard.
You could not think inside out.
I ain't in honor of niggas like you.
He's not even a coon. He's auditioning to be a coon. He's not even a coon. Coons are smarter than that.
That's
true. If you wanted to be a goddamn coon, you should have studied some of Larry Elder's work.
Oh yeah, he's class A.
If you
want to be a good one.
If you want to be a good one, if you want to be a paid one.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Master Teacher.
Okay.
The Master Teacher is speaking. No one interrupt. You interrupt the Master Teacher, I'm muting you right off the rip.
The point I was trying to make is about just a statement that Kanye West just said was a lie, an intellectual lie, that he knew it was a lie. You cannot equivocate it, because slavery has been around long before white folks were ever even invented. And nowhere in the history, nowhere in the literature can you find over 10 or 15,000 years of history that slavery was a choice. Slavery is not a choice. Okay. Even originally in the United States, the first so-called slaves were not called slaves, they were indentured servants, and they were paid. They were reciprocated with land and money after their servitude over 7 years. Slavery is something different. Slavery is forced upon you. Either you were conquered, captured, stolen, or even in some cases even born into it. Which is why they call it chattel slavery, because you're bred like cattle. So it was not a choice, it's a choice imposed upon you. When you have a choice, that means you have options. Now, if you're going to say that a person chose to be a slave, then they will actually put themselves into servitude by signing on the dotted line for recompensation. So if slavery was a choice and black folks made their choice, then we have not been paid, then we are owed at least $6 or $7 trillion worth of reparations, which the United States is not going to pay. So either one or two things. If slavery was a choice and we have suffered from that particular choice or suffered from that particular contract that we should have signed because it was an option, either they owe us a whole hell of a lot of money, a whole hell of a lot of land, a whole hell of a lot of recompensation, because that's what you're supposed to get if you have a contract of indentured servitude as a choice. You're supposed to get money, you're supposed to get land, and you're supposed to get skills, all of which we have not gotten or have been paid for. So just by the very definition, Kanye West saying that slavery was a choice, no white man would ever even say that. That's like, it takes a coon or a blackface speaking a white talking point to actually even say that, because no white man would actually get on Twitter or anyplace else and say slavery was a choice, ever.
Could I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Charles.
I'd like to make a statement to the thing about when he said about poor white people. Even white people said a white man who makes $15,000 is better off than a black man who makes $60,000 because he has the ability to move up and out. You are judged quite a hell of a lot differently than a poor white is. Your predicament in this country is being black. Your so-called success is a facade. If one of you succeed, okay, that's cool. But when everybody else around you is poor, what the fuck does it say about you? As it was so famously said, white people, sky's the limit. Black man limits the sky. I think too many of you are going to reach a certain height in this country, and they fight tooth and nail to keep you from doing such. So you cannot compare a poor white to a poor black, even a so-called middle class one, because you'll get your nigga wake-up card very quickly in this country.
Okay. I'm going to respond to that since she kind of cut in, right? All right, here we go. First and foremost,
ahead. No one's going to interrupt you. Go ahead. Make your point.
I know plenty of white people who would disagree with that statement, actually, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to read something from Kanye West. If he were being paid by the white powers that be to spew hateful rhetoric against blacks or untruths, he wouldn't have posted this. The reason why I brought up the 400 years point is because we can't be mentally imprisoned for another 400 years. We need free thought now. Even the statement was an example of free thought. It was just an idea. This man just said that white people, the sky's the limit, but for black people, the limit is the sky. That is an example of mental enslavement. As long as we view ourselves as sufferers instead of conquerors, we will never get anywhere. We will never advance. That is a mental enslavement that he was referring to in his tweet. So if I can go back to BJ the Kid, as far as time periods are concerned, we don't know where or what time he was referring to specifically within that 400 years that black people were enslaved. We're assuming he was talking about the beginning, but he could have been talking about the middle, the end, or slavery in its entirety. I'm saying that rather than responding with hatred, we should be responding with kindness and understanding to perhaps find common ground with this man instead of threatening him with gang violence, threatening him with I don't know, excommunication from the community. None of that is productive. So I sat down and I examined what he said, and I gathered a different interpretation, hoping that perhaps he meant to convey a different message. And lo and behold, he tweets something the next day, which coincides with what I thought in the first place. I'm not agreeing with the fact that he said that slavery was a choice. Obviously, it was not. But he's referring to mental enslavement, and that is exactly what
Corey,
I knew he was
Corey,
talking about. Oh my
bro,
God,
you
here it
think like
comes.
a
Here it comes.
Let him make his point. Let him make his point. Then
Here
you
it
think like a
comes.
conqueror, Corey?
Because
Here
after
it comes.
because hold on. Because after Brother Haywood makes his point, I want to let Brother BJ get in. So let him make his point, and then we'll go round the robin again. Let him make his point. Go ahead, Brother Haywood.
So once again, that is what I believed he was referring to. And when I say that black people are indeed monolithic, we all pounced on this man for making a statement that we didn't like. He hurt our feelings. And so we all ganged up on him like we often do. When you mention tribalism, when you mention infighting, this is an example of one black man expressing an unpopular thoughts in the entire black community, swarming on him as if he's public enemy number one. That is not productive. That is symptomatic of how we have always been, which is why there's constant division within our own community. That needs to stop. And so, like other intellectuals have done, they have sat down and examined his comments, not from a subjective point of view, from an objective point of view, hoping to find some shred of dignity and understanding in what he said. Now, in terms of white poor people, you can't tell a white person who is living from check to check, who can barely pay his rent, who can barely pay his car note, who is struggling to survive like any other black person, Latino, Asian American. You can't tell that person that he has a magic carpet that will whisk him to success. Because if that were the case, there wouldn't be millions of poor whites scattered throughout the United States. If they could come up,
Actually,
or if they could advance, hold on, there are millions. There are definitely millions. There are definitely millions. Hold on. If there was a magic carpet ride for white people to success, there wouldn't be so many poor whites in this country. They are suffering just like we are. This isn't a race issue. It's a class issue. It is rich people, powerful people versus the rest of us. And the fact is, as long as we continue to fight each other over really a sort of menial, trivial issues like what Kanye West has to say, you see, the problem is that we put people like Kanye, Farrakhan, Tupac on a pedestal without actually thinking for ourselves. So the fact that we're pouncing on him,
Are you gonna land the plane?
I've landed 5 planes already. So the fact that we're pouncing on him rather than thinking for ourselves is also an example of what he said. We're not independent thinkers. We are indeed followers because we expect him to speak for us. We think that his word will influence the masses.
The runway is going on quite a long.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Old boy Cerulean spoke just as long and y'all didn't stop him. You're stopping me.
No, but
so what I'm saying to you is,
land his plane.
Finish your point.
No, I've landed my plane.
Well,
I've landed my plane.
What are your points? Or then BJ go ahead.
So the fact is, how about you let me speak? How about that?
What do you think? You still land your plane, man. You finished, right?
Hey, yo, cool it. So what I'm saying to you is this: that if we're looking
you did it to him, but now it's not fair.
I did it to him because he put words in my mouth. I haven't even referred to him. I haven't referred to him at all.
Well,
I haven't referred to him at all.
Finish your statement, Brother Haywood. Go ahead.
So, if we're looking at Kanye as if he is a spokesman for us, if we think that what he says or what he thinks somehow represents the entire community, that is another example of us being monolithic, of us not thinking for ourselves, because we expect someone like him to pigeonhole himself, remain in a box to speak for us. That makes no sense whatsoever. The reason why he made that statement is because he knew the reaction would be unfavorable and that it would spark dialogue. The exact things that we're talking about right now is what he accomplished with that statement. He also knew that the reaction would be hostile, that it would be violent, and that it would once again represent the. He knew the reaction
had nothing to do with the.
There's 6 planes that you just landed. How many more planes?
Oh my God.
Okay.
He landed SFO. My goodness.
Yo. He knew the reaction would be exactly what it is.
That
is how it always is. Black people jumping to conclusions, threatening other black people with violence,
Let's wait
You
till
said
all
and
the
that.
evidence
getting
is out.
and wallowing in their own emotions and self-pity rather than thinking for themselves and thinking critically. That is what he
thinking for
did.
themselves.
Okay. All right, BJ,
All right.
go ahead,
Okay.
man.
Brother
No,
BJ,
okay.
go ahead.
Number one, you call me BJ the Kid, and I heard that slight. I had to point that out. But to answer what you were saying to me, I don't know why you're caping for Kanye, but Kanye did this for record sales. He did this for money. You know, he did this for different reasons, and he knew it was intellectually dishonest of him to even say that. That's why he knew it was going to spark a dialogue, because he know people going to run and try to get that album, what he's saying on there. But anyways, to what you were saying is, it doesn't even make any sense what he said. It was stupid. It was dumb, and it was disrespectful, and it goes to show you that we're off code. When people like Kanye West say something like that, we do come out with the pitchfork to say, no, you need to get back in line, Negro. You're talking too much. You're saying the wrong thing. And for you to say, oh, we shouldn't do that, we should do that. Heck no, I'm not standing behind him with no love and no encouragement. I'm going to encourage you to sit down. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. And if you keep it up, I'm going to encourage people to snatch that money from you, because black people shouldn't be paying for that nonsense he was spitting out his mouth. And for you to say, oh, we need to do love and encouragement. Why in the world we need to love and encourage some mess like that? Would you expect the Jewish community to say, oh, we need to do love encouragement behind Bill Maher after he said the Holocaust didn't make no sense? And that's this example. So nobody don't get, trip out and say that he was being anti-Semitic, whatever. But if he was to say that mess, the Jewish community say, unplug him, he's done. The same thing with black people. We need to say, when celebrities do stuff like that, we need to unplug you, you're done.
I never said encouragement. Go ahead.
But you're trying to say have love and kindness and rally behind him.
I said understanding. I didn't say encouragement.
Corey.
But
actually, can I speak to that point, BJ?
No.
Yeah,
BJ,
you can go
BJ
ahead.
finish. Let BJ finish.
But that's my point right then and there, is that we need to quit caping for people like that. That's why we keep getting in the mess we're in, because we have people that's caping and cooning for money, and it's making our plight look stupid. Anybody that say something derogatory about slavery needs to be hung. Their career needs to be hung up. Real talk. And we've been letting people slide for too long because we don't hold the money. But you know what? We do hold the money in our pocket. We can boycott people from saying stuff like that. They about to boycott R. Kelly. You see all the women hiving up together? Them black women ain't playing. R. Kelly's career is pretty much done at this point. So the same thing.
Weaves and nails anyway.
What you say?
They'll probably spend on weaves and nails anyway. But go ahead, finish.
What does weave and nails have to do with anything?
That's coon
That's
talk.
what they'll spend the money on.
That's coon talk.
It's
It's coon talk, BJ. Continue.
Yeah, before you even say that, sounds so stupid. But that goes to show your immaturity and your age. And I'm so tired of millennials being so disrespectful. I'm getting so tired of y'all being so disrespectful, and I can say it because I'm a millennial.
When they
and you
start
are so
losing teeth around here.
to these men on this platform, saying all types of calling people names. Brother, you are out of bounds. I'm going to say that to you as one brother to another. You are about to be 13. You're arguing, and your points are sounding like a ratchet female. The females that you don't like are claimed to don't like, but you're sounding just like them. And it's very distasteful. You're interrupting people while they're talking. That's I was also you're deflecting like Wonder Woman, which you didn't get the reference. So lets me know you don't know.
I'm not wearing silver bracelets. That was done.
God, it's a figure
and basically doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing they didn't want.
Speech, man.
Hold on.
Well, we've been joined by Brother Q Wilson. What's good, Brother Q?
Tag, you're it.
What's up, Q?
Can you hear us? Unmute yourself.
Jump in, Q.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was at the back of the trailer, right? Well, just give me 1 second so I can drop the trailer and I could jump in right now.
All right.
Well,
Are you done, BJ?
You done,
yeah,
Brother
I'm done.
BJ?
I'm pretty much.
All right, well, we'll go down the line then.
Brother Charles.
Go ahead, Brother Faulkner. Brother Faulkner's there? Did we lose him?
He's muted. Okay. No. Brother Cerulean there.
So, going back to the point BJ made, because he did say that earlier, that we should be embracing these brothers with love and admiration.
He did say that.
But we need
I didn't say admiration.
Yes, you did.
free thought. But
I did not say admiration. No, I didn't.
Okay,
Yes, you
I
did.
said understanding, not admiration. Don't put
Okay.
words in my mouth.
I'll make this clear so that everyone is clear where I stand. And I'll just say it. Fuck Kanye West. He hasn't made a fucking good album since high school, college dropout, in my opinion. In fact, I don't expect any celebrity to speak on my behalf. In fact, I'm all for Universal and any other mainstream media corporation or provider to strip all of those niggas of their contracts. Because all they've done is made a minstrel show out of the black reality that we are living in. If they've turned us into a fucking joke. But that is the problem when black folks do not control their own celebrity. Let's see. Secondly, the reason why black folks do act the way that we act when Negroes get to talking that reckless bullshit, and especially doing it on large platforms in which the impressionable minds of children, our children, can hear this, right? Is because we have actually embraced motherfuckers that have been saying nonsensical drivel and coming amongst us as if they are our brothers. In fact, we did this with a very great man who is respected by historians, especially black historians. His name was W.E.B. Du Bois, who worked with Margaret Sanger on the Negro Project. And as a result, it landed from 1932 to 1972, whenever the program was incomplete, that the Rosenwald clinics, which became branch clinics of Planned Parenthood, by the way, had sterilized countless black women in that 40 years. And so the reason why we do not allow these type of people to speak in our midst is because we have actually allowed it, embraced it, during a time where we thought that, hey, we're going to respect our intellectual elites. We're going to respect our educated elites. We're going to respect their opinion and take them as thought. And what happened? You had the Tuskegee experiment that went on for nearly 40 years. That was sold to black people by black educated elites and entertainers. They even made songs about the black blood. Oh, you got that black blood. Not knowing that your own
any of y'all
government.
interrupting him right now. Where's all the talking now?
How about you shut the fuck up if you want to listen?
How about you shut how about you shut your mouth? How about that?
Oh, well, yo, in other words,
that goes back to disrespect again. That's
Yeah,
what I keep
How about you
talking
shut your mouth? Hey,
disrespectful.
he told me to shut the fuck up. You think I'm gonna take that line down from you niggas? Are you serious?
You interrupted.
us niggas, yeah. Well, yeah, basically, you've been taking an ass kick out this long. Why not?
You think I'm gonna take that from y'all?
Yeah,
I mean, hell, you take
smile.
I mean, you take that those white talking points laying down, don't you?
Yeah, it doesn't. He does do that, doesn't he?
But then again, racism does have strange
So he has a lot in common with with black women. They'll take it from a white man any day, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He took that line face down.
Face down.
Oh God.
Sunny side up.
Sunny side. Well, no. Ass up, head down.
I didn't even. I'm sorry. What did he? I didn't hear what he said. I didn't hear what he said. What you said?
I know, because you have a problem with hearing.
Yes.
Hey, brother.
No, that's not what it is. There's
just like a ratchet,
background.
Just like a ratchet ghetto hood rat.
Hey,
a ratchet ghetto. Wait a minute. So all four of you guys are grown men. You guys are grown men. You have 4 or 5 grown men on this phone joining forces like bitches, ratchet hoes, to talk shit against me one man.
No.
You all are more bitch-like than I've ever been.
Hold up.
I can tell you whatever I want.
Hold up. I want you to pause right there.
None of y'all don't do nothing. None of y'all could do anything if you were here.
Because you are not a man. Okay, you're just gonna put it out
And
there.
you are not a man. You are not a man. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Okay.
All y'all can do is cackle and giggle like little schoolgirls. That's what you guys are.
Well, you cackle like an old bitch. So what?
You
just
cackle like a little
like a
schoolgirl.
ratchet hood rat hole. You got
Cackle like a little bitch. You how old? He's 54.
You suck white dick just you suck white dick just like a
cackling like a little bitch. Look, bro, like I said,
just
all
like
all 4 or 5 of you, all 4 or 5 of you, hey, look, all 4 or 5 of you, y'all niggas, you niggas are like the Temptations.
Now we bros. You
niggas like the Temptations.
You niggas.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Cause anybody hear me in this piece?
Yeah, we got you, Q.
All right,
Go ahead.
cool.
Okay.
All right, now
you got
your turn, Q.
Hey, no, you can't tell whose show it is. This ain't your show, nigga. I can tell whatever I want to. I can say what I want. This ain't your show, motherfucker. I can speak. You can't. I can say what I want. This ain't your show, nigga. This ain't your show, nigga. This ain't your show.
This ain't your show either, nigga.
This ain't your show, nigga. This ain't your show, nigga. I can say what I want. I'm the captain now, motherfucker. I can say what I want. I can say what I want now.
Motherfucker.
I can say what I want now.
I'm gonna start muting, folks. I'm gonna start muting, folks.
Man, get this nigga some pants.
Hold on.
With wings.
Hold on.
Yes.
I didn't know it was going this crazy. I was actually off the line.
The flow is heavy right now.
It was going this crazy up
The
here.
flow is heavy in this bitch, huh?
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was going this crazy up in here. I did not realize
Only thing
that.
is flowing heavy, nigga, is the sperm from. Hey, look.
Okay.
Only thing is flowing, nigga. Hey,
blood.
you already nuts through in his mouth. That's what's flowing heavy.
Wipe the blood, bro.
Hey, you nuts through in his mouth. That's only thing flowing heavy.
All right,
man.
All right. Let's do this one at a time.
Can I get in right quick, brother?
I'm looking. Yeah, go ahead, brother Q. I know you was the least to speak. Go ahead. I'm not gonna let nobody interrupt you because I'm about to start muting folks. So go ahead.
All right, cool. And I think Grinch want the link, but yeah, okay. I've been listening to this conversation for about how long has your show been on today? And the level of disrespect from this guy is really outrageous.
You're bogging out, man.
I'm 26.
You gotta get in a better.
Like,
you have
hear
to
me now?
get in a better position or something because you
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'd rather listen to Obsidian before I listen to this guy. He's giving me Obsidian a rub for his money. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
no, the fuck he's not.
Trust me.
This nigga's not on Obsidian's level.
No, he is beyond Obsidian. He went Super Saiyan like style play on Obsidian.
Okay, we lost somebody. Lost. Master teacher just dropped off.
This nigga's auditioning to be an assistant coon.
He's being an assistant coon.
He gonna be Falcon.
Hey, where you get these clown ass niggas from, man?
Look.
Hey, wait. Who you calling the clown?
All right, brother.
All you motherfuckers.
Wait a minute.
Who you calling the clown?
Let's not resort to the name calling. Man, let's not do that. Let's not resort to the name calling.
Clown ass niggas.
Hey, I've been getting quiet. They been calling me names all night.
No, we was.
They been calling me names all night.
Listen.
Absolutely.
Listen. Now, this is what I'm gonna do, brother Q. Are you done with your point? Are you done? Are you done, brother Q?
Well, I was going to say, appreciate you for bringing me onto this platform. You know, it's my first time on here. You know, and I appreciate you for bringing me on. But guys like this, we got to expel them from the community. It is just ridiculous. Thank you.
Expel them.
No problem. Now, brother Haywood, go ahead and respond to that point, and then we're gonna go back up the gauntlet again. If you want to respond to that point.
Sure. So once again, you can say that, we're going to boycott Kanye's music. What you all don't understand is he doesn't care. At this point, he is beyond caring about what you all think. You think he's going to confine himself to a box, like you think he's going to confine himself to the black community because you all have feelings, that doesn't matter anymore. He's thinking globally. Like I was saying earlier, the world is much bigger than the black community. So if Kanye West, from now on, speaks and acts so that the black community embraces him, to appease by black people, he'll revolve as a musician. Man, he's a global icon, not a black icon, but a global icon. So if y'all expect for him to toe the line, that's not going to happen. That's what you have Al Sharpton for. That's what you have Jesse Jackson girls and Max Carter for Wig and Wonder. That's what you have these cats for, not him.
Can I
You
rebut
be happy
that?
with him.
First of all, Kanye West is not a global shit. He is a product.
Yeah, he is.
He's
He
a
absolutely
product that
is.
was manufactured by Universal Music Studios, okay? He's not a
I said
global
a
shit.
global icon. Is
He's
he
not a
known
global
around the
shit.
world? Yes or no?
He
Yes,
is
he
a
is.
global product that is being
He's a
offered
global
by
icon.
Universal
He
Music
is.
Group.
What are you talking about? He's
No, he's
idolized
not an
around the
icon.
world. He's a global icon. In your eyes, he might not be, but he's been referred to as a global icon on multiple occasions. So you don't
Well,
believe it, that's fine. You don't
well,
believe it,
he's
that's
only a
fine,
global
brother. That's
icon in
fine.
your eyes because white people
No, he's a
have
global
basically
icon according to many
propped him
sources,
up
not
and
just.
told. Well, the only people that have called him a global icon are the people who manufactured him, which are white people.
No, the only people who
That's
have
how
called
they
him a global
promote it.
icon, he's been
That's how
called
they
a global
promote.
icon on many
Listen,
occasions.
this
Look,
is how.
the point
Listen,
that
that's
I'm
how they.
making
This is
is,
how a product is
this is what you
promoted.
don't understand. That tweet was a declaration. He doesn't care about what you all
No,
think. And that's what you don't
no.
understand.
The
He doesn't
problem
care
is
about
that
shit dollars. He already milked you niggas for millions. He doesn't care anymore.
well,
You don't have to
first
buy
of
shit. He's
all,
already profited millions from y'all. He doesn't care. You can sit
he's
and
never milked
complain
shit
all you
from
want to. Maybe
Cerulean
not you, but from
because
black people in general. He's already milked off
Cerulean
everything that y'all worth. He's made himself a
Cerulean has
millionaire on
always
your backs. And let me tell you
Cerulean
something.
has always been pro-black and supported the
So
bootleg man
let me
anyway.
tell you something.
So
Kanye West is he no longer cares about what you all think. And the fact that you're reacting this way
see
means you're weak.
that's where
It means you're weak. It means you're weak.
that's where
Because
Brother
if you let
Haywood,
a man's
Brother
words
Haywood,
affect you like this, that means you're weak.
Brother
No,
Haywood.
what it is that you're weak because you're
That means you're
assuming.
weak.
Shut the fuck
You're
up,
weak.
please. This is
You're weak.
ridiculous, man.
Brother
You're
Haywood.
weak.
Brother
Because
Haywood.
You're
what
weak.
it actually means. No, what it is that you're weak
No, you're
because
weak.
you are falling under the assumption that we give a fuck about what he thinks when it's in fact that he is who should give a fuck about what we think. But the problem is that that's why I don't hold any of these celebrities to any kind of standard because one, we didn't manufacture these pieces of shit anyway. That's the problem. And that's where you're wrong. And the fact that you're saying that he's a global icon, that's you being weak because you believe everything that white society has told you. When Universal Music Group manufactured this product that is called Kanye West, okay? They told you this is the new global thing. This is the big thing popping. The reason why he really said the shit that he said, let's just keep it a buck. It's because controversy sells.
Yep, exactly.
And who buys controversy the most? It ain't niggas. He
Can
said
I ask
that for
brother?
his white. He said that shit for his white constituency
Yep.
Can I ask brother Hayward
because
a
they're the
question?
ones. Because they are the ones who are buying all of his albums. They're the ones who are buying the fucking shit on Apple, iTunes, and all of that goofy shit. Niggas is not buying that shit. And you're absolutely right. Black folks shouldn't give a fuck about what he says. In fact, he should give a fuck about what black folks says because, one, in order to be a fucking global icon, in order for you to be any kind of a fucking icon, whether it's in America, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in anywhere on the fucking globe, if you ain't got the fucking black support, you don't have shit.
Could I ask brother Hayward a question?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take a page out of Cerulean's book. Brother Hayward, you have a group of 100 people. How many to feed them with a group of potatoes?
Who is
Now,
that?
the appropriate
Somebody
question,
got
Q, is how
who the
many?
hell backing up a damn truck or something in the back?
That's Q.
I
That
think
my
it's
bad.
cute.
That's me. That's me.
God damn, mute your mic if you backing the truck up. For
Actually,
Christ's
the
sake.
appropriate question, Q, is how many people can a potato feed? Uh,
Yeah,
that's
answer that question.
that's a question that is used to determine whether or not someone is smart enough to even carry on a conversation with.
Well, can you answer that question, Brother Haywood? That question Cerulean just posted?
Well, we already know that he doesn't know the answer to that question.
Brother Haywood, you want to respond? Did we lose Brother Haywood? Brother
Yeah, we
Haywood, you
lost
there?
him a long time ago. He's in a sunken place.
I mean, did we lose him on the
Well, we already
broadcast,
know.
Brother BJ?
We already know Cory doesn't. Cory doesn't know the answer to that question.
I think we
Cory's
lost
been out of
Brother
his.
Haywood.
Did
You,
he fall
you,
off?
you know what burns
Oh,
me
he's
up
still here.
about brothers
He's still
like
here.
him? I think he is, but he must have walked away or something.
Hmm.
But you know
That's
what burns
the
me
thing,
up is people like him is so dishonest. He knows he's dishonest. He knows what Kanye West said was wrong. But in
No,
his
see, the reason why he can white explain what Kanye meant, right,
right.
is because Kanye West made that statement for the same reason Cory or Cooney Haywood named his book Coon Flakes, is because
Right.
controversy. You
Sells.
see, controversy sells in America. And see, he didn't write that shit for black folk. He wrote that shit for white folks because
Exactly.
he wants white acceptance. He doesn't give a fuck about black acceptance. You see, you don't give a fuck about, see, that's the real. Now, remember I told you, Brother X, is that at the heart of every coon or any Negro that is trying to audition to be a coon, the heart of every single one of them is a fucking coward.
Yep, it is. And they
See, what I'm
died
telling you is
10,000 times.
how to basically operate on a higher level of intellect of looking at things that is too far out of the depth of Negroes that they have all these problems with the black community this, black community that. Why are we always blaming white folks? Well, who controls the money? Who controls the fucking money?
Yep, white
Matter of
people.
fact, who told you? Who told you that the shit that was in your pocket, the shit that you working for, was money?
White people.
Who even told you that?
Well, Brother Haywood, I think he done dropped off. His phone might have went dead or something. But
Yeah, that's what he gets for fucking with that cockroach wireless.
see, Cerulean, Brother Cerulean,
Savage one.
he makes it hard to keep a straight face up in here. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight. I think we done lost Brother Haywood. I think we done lost Brother Haywood.
Cory lost his damn self.
We coming around to the end of the show anyway.
That nigga couldn't think himself out of a wet paper bag.
And I just want to say this, I believe that, like I told Brother Haywood in the beginning when he first came on, that, I believe people have a right to say whatever they want to say. I believe Kanye has a right to say whatever he wants to say. I believe everybody on this panel has a right to say whatever they wanted to say. I believe that Brother Haywood has a right to say whatever he wants to say. But on the other side of that, I will say this again. If you are a person with a humongous reach, I think you have to be a little more responsible than someone like me who's just on YouTube. I mean, I can say all kinds of shit. No one gives a crap. But if you're someone with millions and billions of followers and millions and billions of people following you,
can I say this, Brother X?
I think you got to have some degree of responsibility with the things you say, man. I do.
Can I say this, Brother X, is that if you really look at Kanye West, you can go to his album sale. This nigga's album sales ain't been shit since he started fucking with them Kardashian girls.
But
okay?
I believe that is part of the reason why he's doing what he's doing.
That's exactly the reason why he's doing what he's doing. He's trying to break back into
He's
that white
trying to get
audience.
noticed. He's trying to get noticed again. And I'm not mad at him that he's trying to
No,
do
I'm not
that.
mad at him
I
because
just
I'm
don't
looking
like
at.
the way he went about it. I don't think he should have
I'm
said
not
what
mad
he
at him
said.
because I'm looking at him. I'm looking at this is a man who is basically a victim of the same systemic oppression and suffering that all black folks are. This is really the example. The example.
Exactly.
You gotta coon and sell out in order to keep your check, to keep your audience.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
To
that's
speak to white sympathies, or
I
the
don't
white audience
I
is more
don't even
important
mind
to you
him.
than your black audience.
I don't even mind him cooning. I just think that the particular cooning that he chose to do was a little over the ship. I mean, we always gonna have people doing coon sambo shit. I mean, there's no stopping that. But we gotta some coons and sambos. We gotta kind of reel them in. We gotta like, hey man, you're samboing a little too much there. We gotta. Sometimes we have to reel them in, and that's what I was explaining to Brother Haywood. That I ain't mad at him. He wants to sell records. He wants to sambo. He wants to do all that shit. That's fine. There's plenty of them. But sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to put a rope on a man and kind of reel him in and say, "Hey, man, we don't mind you doing the sambo act. We're going a little crazy with it now, though."
I mean, Heartbreaking 808 was his last top selling album. If that wasn't give you any perspective, and it still didn't sell as much as College Dropout.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is a guy whose career, the mortality of his career is imminent, and trying to break back into it, and so he creates this controversy in order to get some eyes on, to generate eyes on.
Get noticed. He's getting noticed because
But
everybody's talking about him.
that's also one of the side effects of living in a racially oppressed state.
Everybody's talking about him, that he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish because everybody's talking about him and everybody's talking about what he said, and they're talking about it everywhere. We're talking about it. Mainstream media is talking about it. The black news outlets are talking about it. White news outlets are talking about it. So, I mean, he got what he wanted.
And this is all really the work of his publicist.
Mission accomplished.
It's all the work of his publicist. Hey, Universal say, hey, you're slacking on the sales. We need some controversy.
Absolutely.
This is what you get out there and say on national TV, so you can generate it. And then when you drop your album, everybody will go and get it just so they can see what's on that album.
Absolutely. He got what he wanted. But we coming to the end of the show. This was a lively show tonight, y'all. This shit was just like I thought it would be, like it always is when Brother Haywood is on the air. What I want y'all to do, though, I want y'all to put some likes in this here section before we get up out of here. And also, you might want to drop a few coins in this here link here. You see this here link coming up? See it? Right about there somewhere. Yeah, it's right about there. About right there. Drop a few coins in the bucket if you're feeling generous, and drop a few likes up in here if you're feeling generous. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I want to thank y'all for showing up tonight, spending some time with us and watching us. I want to thank my moderators doing an excellent job as always showing up, always doing what they're supposed to do. Now, this is what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to have your black behinds here tomorrow, same time, same station, for the T.P.O.T Unicorn 4 broadcast, because tomorrow we will be asking the question, is mama always right? Yep. We're going to be asking the question, is mama always right? So make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, for the T.P.O.T, the Ladies of Thought Unicorn 4 broadcast. Those are always lit. Make sure you are here. Also, I need y'all to stop by the Popular Thought Series Facebook page. That's Popular Thought Series at Facebook. That's our main page. We creeping up on 1,000 likes, y'all. Let's see if we can get 1,000 before the end of May. Drop by, follow, check out the feed. There's always some good stuff on there. You can always see what I'm doing on there, and you can catch up with the Unicorn 4 on there as well. And make sure you stop by the T.P.O.T bandwagon page as well. Send a friend request. We will click it back soon. And also, make sure you stop by the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. That's the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. We're creeping up on 3,000, y'all. Let's see if we can get the 3 G's before the month of May is out. Go ahead, request to be a member. You'll get accepted quick, I promise. So go ahead and stop by the Prophet of Thought Series fan page on Facebook. Also, follow us on Instagram. That's Prophet of Thought on Instagram. And we also on WhatsApp too. And make sure you follow us on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. I'm going to haunt your black ass in your sleep. And also, when you get a chance, make sure you stop by the website. It's www.don'tevenTryIt.wikifoundry.com. That's www.don'tevenTryIt.wikifoundry.com. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And also, if you go up there, you can also see a short bio of the Unicorn 4 there as well. Make sure you stop by the website, check it out, like the website, link it to your page, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this here channel. All right? Because if you don't do that, I'm going to haunt you in your damn sleep for that too. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up and everybody for watching. I'd like to thank everyone who showed up on the panel tonight. Brother Cerulean, Brother Faulkner, Brother Q Wilson, Brother BJ Allen D, and of course, the master teacher and the guest of honor, Brother Cory Haywood. I'd like to thank all the brothers for showing up tonight and showing off their commentary. And like I said,
no problem.
Make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow for the Unicorn 4 broadcast, because it's gonna be lit just like it was tonight. But once again, thank you everybody for showing up on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. And with that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do. Oh snap! Brother Haywood is back. Brother Haywood, we about to close out, man. You got any final words, man, before I shut this thing down? Brother Haywood? Oh, maybe he's not back. All right, then.
He's got that cockroach wireless thing again.
Brother Haywood, are you there? I don't think he's there. He dropped off. I'll call him tomorrow.
Told you that's that cockroach wireless.
Somebody need to mute their damn mic. What the hell? Sound like you goddamn pouring Kool-Aid down steps.
You trying to get out the he trying to get out the
Somebody pouring Kool-Aid down steps.
That's not Kool-Aid. They're trying to bleach the coonery.
Brother Haywood, are you there? No.
Man, you got to upgrade the Verizon, man. That
anyway,
wireless ain't gonna work, man.
I will leave you.
Cockroach wireless don't get you no strong signals.
Cockroach wireless. Oh shit.
I will leave you with 3 words, brothers, like I always do. Open your minds, and we out of here. In Corey's case, it must be that coon wireless. Raccoon wireless.
Peace. Called I Have No Logic, Emotional Receptions.
Yeah, you know that nigga still never answered my question. He said he think like a conqueror. We gotta teach him to think like conquerors. Like nigga, what have you conquered?
My question: what the fuck you conquered?
He gonna keep trying that old raccoon wireless, huh? Let's see, man. See, he does that thing, man. He likes to interject because when he feels like he's being backed into a wall, he's like, oh, wait. Next thing you know, you're going off on some other shit that don't even They didn't have anything to do with the conversation.
Well, I'll check y'all later.
Oh yeah. Well, brother X, it's been a pleasure. Princess
Always,
salute.
always, brother Cerulean. Always. Peace, folks.
On